Welcome to another Ice Guys Live Betcast, Stanley Cup Playoffs, Eastern Conference Final, game number 1, Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. And this is a free-for-all edition of the Betcast, open to everybody who wants to join us on this great Wednesday night. And it's great because we finally have hockey back after a rare night without NHL hockey last night. So looking forward to this series. Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, Matt Robinson with you. And we are excited about game 1 here in the Eastern Conference Final, which is a few minutes away from puck drop. Look at that swank merch that Alex is rocking right now. The Ice Guys shirt, the Ice Guys hat, all in black, my favorite color. So it's looking good for the Betcast here is our guy, Alex B. Smith. Hopefully our bets are looking good throughout the course of the night. We all seem to be consensus on seeing some goals tonight here in game 1, noting that there's been 19 straight games head-to-head, Panthers and Rangers, with at least 6 goals. I'm on the over trifecta. I know Matt and Alex sign off on that, and they especially like the first period over at around even money in this game tonight. Alex, just reiterate to everyone what you're liking here in game 1 pregame.
Yeah, so just first period over 1.5 plus 100. That is my best bet, and I'll be adding a little bit more, a couple minutes into the start of the contest, as I will for the full game over 5.5. I grabbed that minus $1.10, so we get some of that at plus money as well. 19 straight overs. You can't shy away from that, especially with these two teams coming off of rest. We expect a little bit of rust there early, so I think the goals will come in pouring. Of course, for the series, I have the 6-game, 7-game split. It means series to go 6 games at plus 195, series to go 7 games at plus 190, and then I have various spots of Rangers 4-2, Rangers 4-3, Florida 4-2, and Florida 4-3 to wrap it up.
The Betcast, by the way, our last Betcast last week was Patreon exclusive, so only our Patreon members at patreon.com/iceguys were a part of that. We had some fun that night, and Ryan Robinson, Matt's brother's mentioning it. Not often on a Betcast you say, yeah, I cashed a winner with a live minus 44.5 in a basketball game, but yeah, we had one of those last week with the Minnesota Timberwolves when they were beating the living shit out of the Denver Nuggets there in Game 6 of the Western Conference Final in the NBA. I told you, the Betcast, we might even stray over to the NBA a little bit tonight because we do know there is an NBA Game 1 as well in the Western Conference Final with the Mavericks and the Timberwolves. So we'll keep an eye on that. And I know Matt's interested. Look, Matt's number one love is the Dallas Stars, obviously, but he wants the Dallas Mavericks to do well also, and they get their conference final going tonight. Matt, it's big time right now in the city of Dallas.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of energy in Dallas right now. I'm sure just walking around down near the arena and uptown, all the popular bar areas, I'm sure you see a lot of Stars and Mavs jerseys. Obviously with tonight being a Mavs night, probably a little more Mavs fans out. But I guarantee you just walking around, there's a lot of people with hats, shirts, The energy is very high there. Two teams in the conference finals, in obviously NBA and NHL going on. You had the Rangers win the World Series a few months back. So definitely a high point for Dallas. Every city goes through their ups and downs. Cities like Boston have had their time with good Patriots teams, Bruins teams. Chicago's been good. But yeah, it's good to see Dallas in two major sports still alive in the Final Four. So that's super exciting. As for tonight, really excited for the Betcast. No hockey tonight, so I don't have to pace myself or anything. I know we're going to be on for a short show because there's just one game, but it's definitely a game I'm really excited about.
No doubt. I mean, I have high expectations for this series, and I mean really high expectations. Like I expect a classic. I expect great intensity. I expect it to be very competitive, a close, tight series, one that's going to be up for grabs in a game 6 or a game 7. I mean, Alex and I, we both like this series to go 6 or 7. We also have Florida and the Rangers to win exactly 4-2 and 4-3 in this series. So we get one of those to hit. We're going to be profitable because they're all at very nice prices, at least north of plus 400. So that's the approach with us, plus the 6 and 7 game series prop. So we're definitely looking to hopefully see this series be a long one and a great one. I do want to mention, though, we do have some hockey going on outside of the NHL tonight. And one of the games taking place tonight is the Florida Everblades taking on the Adirondack Thunder. It's game 3, I believe, now of their ECHL Conference Finals series. And we have ourselves a little development from game 3 tonight involving the Florida Everblades. Our buddy, our friend of the show, Jordan Sambrook, has been hiding all along that he's got these Bobby Orr, Paul Coffey, Nick Lidstrom type skills from the blue line. He's been hiding this shit on us, man. And he showed the world what he was all about tonight in game number 3 of this series. This happened literally about 25 minutes ago because I've got this game on one of my screens in front of me. Game 3, Florida Adirondack. Time to roll the highlight film. Here is what happened about 20 minutes ago.
Team history. Everblades winning the South for a 3rd straight year. And Hosang dangles inside the zone. Now back up top. Shot. Score! And it's 1-0 Florida. A seeing eye point shot. Everblades strike first. Jordan Sambrook from just inside the blue line sends a floater towards the net. And it catches the twine. And it's a 1-0 Florida lead.
How cool is that? How about that? Our guy, Jordan Sambrook, he was on one of our Betcasts, last week, I think it was the Tuesday Betcast. And there he is, opening the scoring in game 3 for the Florida Everblades in game 3. That series is tied 1-1, by the way. They split in Adirondack. So 1-1 in that series. And Jordan Sambrook with just a seeing eye wrister from the point, getting Florida on the board. That's awesome stuff. Like I said, I'm going to have to send him that message. Say, hey, what is that? Is that Jordan Sambrook or Bobby Orr I'm seeing there on the ice for the Florida Everblades tonight? But great stuff. By the way, I should point out, Matt Robinson, he has a friend of his in the conference finals right now in the ECHL as well. He fellow Texan, David Cotton, who is playing for the Kansas City Mavericks in the ECHL final against Toledo. Toledo just won their first game in that series the other night. It's 2-1 Kansas City in the series. But David Cotton is playing in that series for Kansas City, one of Matt Robinson's friends. I bring that up because we're going to have some conflict on our hands if this is a Florida-Kansas City ECHL Kelly Cup final. We're rooting for Jordan, and I know Matt's going to be pulling for David Cotton. So we got a ways to go still, but I'm just telling you, I'm just setting the table, Matt. We could be in for some fighting here at some point with the ECHL stuff.
Yeah, love it. That's what keeps it exciting. If we all just wanted one team to win every game, it would be a pretty boring show and no one would need to tune in. So sometimes you got to have a little conflict and disagreements. So all in good fun, obviously. But yeah, that'd be exciting. May have to start the Betcast an hour early and watch a little of that game one of the nights, since those games are out east and typically start a little earlier.
Yeah, exactly. That would be cool. Yeah, we'll do a bonus maybe a Patreon. You never know. ECHL Betcast. We got rooting interests involving some of the participants on either side. So that would be pretty cool if it gets to that point. But long way to go. Like I said, Florida's only tied 1-1 with Adirondack. Long series ahead. Kansas City now. Plus the home team has won every game in that Kansas City-Toledo series. Kansas City won the first 2 at home. Toledo won game 3 at home. So, like I said, you're not in trouble till you lose a home game in one of these series. And yes, I did watch Kansas City-Toledo game 3 last night. It was on Monday night. And yes, indeed, Scott, they do throw walleye on the ice after a goal in Toledo. Yeah, they do end up. There is walleye fish on the ice. That is something they do there. I don't know if they do it all season, but here in the playoffs, I know they have done it involving the Toledo home games. So,
and they're the ECHL affiliate for Detroit now, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's probably why they do it a little bit more. When they once were the affiliate of the Hawks, and I've only heard of that happening for like opening night, like sit for a playoff game. So
you're damn good at this stuff, Alex. You're right, 100% Detroit. Yep, that's the. Affiliate. Toledo is the affiliate of the Detroit Red Wings, the ECHL affiliate. Of course, Grand Rapids in the AHL. And actually, they're in action still, Grand Rapids. They're still playing. So the Detroit franchise, yep. And by the way, I do want to point out as we're inching closer to puck drop, it looks like there's going to be your typical 8:20 ESPN special starting at around that time. The guy that's doing this anthem, John Brancy here for the New York Rangers, this guy's pipes and this guy's voice is tremendous. He's as good as it gets. Now, look, it's New York City. I understand. It's not like you're picking from the scrap heap as far as quality singers and voices are concerned. But
you can throw a bottle outside and find a quality singer in New York City. I'm sure.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. You stumble upon one, bump into one on the side of the road somewhere, and probably there's so many qualified musicians and singers there. But this John Brancy is an outstanding anthem singer here for the Rangers here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And speaking of outstanding guests on the Betcast, Sammy P joining us once again. Sammy, we got a tough act to follow, my friend. Minus 44.5, a live bet in an NBA game on the last Betcast. That's not an easy feat to follow.
We made a good amount of money, and this was full before the last Betcast. Can you see? Like this is this. There's basically
same damn bottle. Wow.
Well, yeah. This is 750 mLs. I mean, look at this, Rob. This is like there's nothing left here.
I got exactly halfway. Mine was brand new on that show as well. So we saved a little.
That was nice. No, Vancouver beat Edmonton. That was a hell of a night. And now let's hope that we can recreate the magic.
No doubt. All right, Sammy, give us your take on this series, the positions you're on pre-series here.
Nothing. The only thing I bet today so far was Panarin to score and Panarin to score the first goal. So I am at the mercy of the Ice Guys tonight, and I will be tailing whatever we do live.
All right, good stuff. We're on pregame, first period, full game over. Most of us.
We're adding on live to that. So.
Yeah.
Any before this game gets rolling, anything on the Mavs game 1 tonight?
I actually like Dallas in this spot just because Minnesota's coming off the game 7. I did sprinkle on the first half full game on the Mavs here a little bit, plus 2.5, plus 4.5. Yep.
I can tell you that once it hit 5 at a lot of shops in Vegas, it got bet right back. Like this opened Minnesota 3.5. 4, 4.5, 5, and then once we got the 5 at a couple of really sharp shops, bam! The Dallas money came in at plus 5. So it's I'm not involved yet, but if I can get Minnesota, Matt, to go on a nice run in the first 10, 12 minutes, I'll jump on Dallas at like plus 6, 7, 8, something like that for sure.
There we go. So looking for Dallas.
I was listening that. Minnesota went 3-1 against the Mavs this year, but all 3 wins, Kyrie didn't play, and Luka missed 2 of the 3. When they both played, they combined for 69 points and got the dub. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out. I know regular season and playoff aren't the same, but that's obviously they were talking about how Minnesota was 3-1 against Dallas, but when you factor that in, that's a pretty big loss. So we'll see.
We have puck drop.
Minnesota's obviously
at Madison Square Garden. And I think for Matt, too. Even for Matt, we have puck drop, I think, right now.
Yeah, we're all pretty close to him.
Yeah.
Panarin scores first. I'm taking my shirt off.
I'd advise against that, but that's okay. Anybody can do what they want here. I'd advise against me doing that. No, but that's I'm
not
my pasty skin. That's not happening. No.
I'm on Tarasenko first goal and anytime goal, so I might have to do the same if Tarasenko scores the first one.
Okay. I bet it'd look better if you did it than if I did it, but hey, who cares?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know about that.
You have crazy ass reactions when something goes, your way, especially when you hit a bet like that.
How about Rich last week when Miller scored?
That was amazing. That's a viral
classic.
Ice Guys
That's a
all-time
classic.
moment on our Betcast last week, Rich H, when Miller scored the game winner with 30 seconds left?
Yep.
That was great. Florida pressure.
Big shouts to Rich as well for stating I can't drink, I have to go to work, and then proceeding to, I'm pretty sure, having 4 shots with the boys.
Yeah, right.
Something like that. So he was a big factor in that Vancouver comeback.
Yeah, we coerced him into it. We kind of like strong-armed him into it. Like, come on, man. It's the Canucks here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Fuck work. I mean, let's go here. It's party time. You don't get this kind of shit happening every day.
Yep.
Good pressure by Florida. Like I said, first couple shifts, they've been in the Ranger zone here. Yeah, it looks like already. It's just been 2 minutes, but it already looks like two teams that, a little bit the pace is good. The management of the puck has not been good. I've already seen multiple turnovers here in the early going. And again, more of the chances early have gone to Florida.
Oh, Panarin. Oh, shit.
That shot was close. That happened to me I'll be honest, that happened for me like 30 seconds ago, but that shot was really, really close. It was a bullet. It just missed the target.
He just missed the net.
Yeah. Not by much either. Like that was
waiting for shot. Plus 115 or better to jump in on the 1.5.
Yep.
They're flying right now, man.
Yep. Oh, I know. The pace is solid. And the puck, like I said, the turnovers in the neutral zone already, both ways.
Remember, Ian, you're watching the game yesterday. We're watching it today. We're way behind you.
Plus 118. Just got in plus 118 for the extra over 1.5.
So there you go, Alex, topping it up here with a little better price now. We're 3 minutes in, but like I said, there's been definitely a lot of pace, a lot of chances, turnovers on both sides. Now it's the Rangers' turn, it looks like, to have some time in the O zone here early on.
I'm in plus 116 over.
I'm waiting for plus 120 for 5.
Whatever. I took it.
Plus 135 before I got it in. It changed.
A couple Rangers throwing the body early on. It's almost like it's a mantra of theirs to show that we can match up physically to this Panthers team, knowing that's the way they play, like 60 minutes every game.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's been a great start to this game, though. I mean, there's been some hits already. There's been chances already. Goaltenders have had to be busy. And like I said, the Rangers are trying to throw the body around, and I think it's almost like they're trying to do actually what Toronto did early in their series against Boston. I remember way back in the first round. Like, we're going to show that from a physical standpoint, we've been criticized in the past that we're not exactly, the utmost physical team, and we're going to try to show you. We have someone that joining us now on the Betcast. I just see him arriving in our studio now. I have not seen or talked to him a lot over the years, but I have known him for a very long time. Probably met him for the first time in Las Vegas 10 years during one of Alex and ours trips out there for Super Contest weekend. But he's well known. He knows his UFC is good or better than anybody that I know, and he's joining. He loves his pucks as well. Puck passion is what he always says on Twitter. It's Lou Finicaro, Gamblu, joining us here on the Ice Guys podcast. Lou, it's been too long. How are you?
It's been way too long, but Ian, thanks so much for having me on. Good to speak with you and Alex again. Matt, we've not met. I'm tickled to meet you and my good friend Sammy P, all the way from the east side. Good to see you, Sam. Thanks so much for having me on, guys. It's a pleasure to share some insight with all you brilliant young handicappers.
Oh, it's great to have you, Lou. It's been a while. But let me just first ask, because it's been a while since we've caught. How are you? How's Lou these days? How are things in the life of Gamblu right now?
Things are great. Life in Phoenix is super. We're in the middle of the throes of puck passion, as we say. The College World Series, another sport that I work, is coming right up.
He has to make an appearance.
And we got Goose in the house as well. So how about that?
Yeah, Goose is a regular. We know him very well. He's a very disgruntled Toronto Maple Leafs fan, Lou, as you can
I'm an
understand.
eternally happy Toronto Maple Leafs fan. That's just the way it goes. You can't be disgruntled, or I would have hung myself 20, 30, 40 years ago.
No
But
comment on that
today, so real quick, we're going to do another Ice Guys first. Today we're in a vet's office. So we got the boy in, got my loving wife Joe with us, and we're just doing a quick checkup on the man. So it was one of those days. So Sam, keep your shirt on. Sorry, no offense, but
I will.
See it.
I will, Goose. I'll do my best.
I don't know if anybody picked up on this. I don't know if anybody picked up on this one. If you didn't grab Lafreniere for an assist, he's had an assist in the first game of every series this playoffs.
Okay, so in both rounds then, against Washington, against Carolina, he had an assist in the game one of both of them. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I've got him and Montour, and that's about it.
I have an assist prop for him, but I have the goal prop, which is also my bargain bin special on the Ice Guys show today. At plus, actually, $3.10 is what I got. It moved up to 10 cents. But good stuff. Lou, I just wanted to ask you your position on this series here that we are watching right now, game one, Florida and the New York Rangers. I know you have futures on Florida, as do I. But how do you see this series going, and what are you involved with pre-series, aside from the Florida futures positions?
Yeah, I really took a very conservative approach to tonight. The only position I have two positions tonight, fellas. One is, and I know I'm bucking you a little bit here. I took the under 5.5. I believe we're going to see some goaltender aerobics tonight. And then my prop bet, and I'm very conservative with props. I don't often play them, but I really like Tarasenko over 0.5 point. Again, there's nepotism here. Now he's playing with Florida, and he used to play with the Rangers. And I rode Marchessault to the Conn Smythe last year with that thinking. Doesn't mean it's going to work here, but that's my line of thinking there. Surely, I really lean to Florida tonight, but I didn't want to get with the futures bets that I have on them. I didn't want to get too aggressive. Because I do feel to some extent when I look especially at the futures prices, I think the Rangers are getting a slight bit disrespected here, and it just gives me a little bit cause for hesitation.
Yeah, the hesitation for me with the Rangers, or my pause and concern, is Igor Shesterkin scares the hell out of me and should scare the hell out of anybody that's a Florida Panthers fan or Florida Panthers backer in this series, because he's been nothing short of spectacular for the majority of these playoffs, and we know what he is capable of at this time of year and the way he's played really in the first two rounds. How many of those games against Carolina, where Carolina, a lot of the games they lost to the Rangers, they could have won, if not for some of the heroics of Igor Shesterkin in those first two series, and especially the Carolina series. So make no mistake about it. He has been great, and he is obviously someone that the Florida Panthers are going to have to try to put pucks in. What I see, though, Lou, is the fact that Florida is the kind of team that is going to play that kind of style that can maybe rattle the cage of normally an unflappable goaltender like Igor Shesterkin, someone where you're going to see a Tkachuk and you're going to see a Nick Cousins and you're going to see some of these pricks that you just don't want to deal with on the other side, just absolutely trying to get in the goalie's face and kitchen and rattle him, bump him every now and then just to try to do something to get him off his game. The Florida Panthers are at some point in this series, they're going to take that approach.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that, especially just watching in the playoffs. The Panthers have been riddling opposing goaltenders with shots, and so that is somewhat of a concern if they start to pepper Igor too much. That said, the Panthers have been just as good at limiting shots on Bob, and we could see, again, this is me projecting a little bit, hopeful that we see a goaltender battle tonight. And I need these goaltenders, and this is the time of year where they make their name known. I think if you're looking for a good hedge, and I did send this one out to clients, and that is because we have Florida and Dallas, rather than take the Rangers at 400 for the Cup, which has some risk, if the Rangers get to the Cup and in fact win it, it will be on the shoulders of Shesterkin, who was 550 for the Conn Smythe, and that was the angle I used on that release.
Good stuff. And Matt Robinson, Lou, who's our third in command, I guess you could say, with the Ice Guys show. He's done a nice job for us ever since we brought him into the fold here. He's a big-time Dallas Stars fan. He's going to be in Dallas tomorrow, traveling there, and he'll be there for Game 2 against Edmonton Saturday. And I know you've got some Dallas Stars futures. So make our guy, Matt Robinson's night, and wax some poetic for us, Lou, on the Dallas Stars and why you like them so much.
Well, I can tell you that I like the Stars for a lot of the similar reasons that I like Florida. I've been doing this a long time. I'm not as versed in the analytics as I am in what I've learned over decades. And what I've learned over decades is if you take a team one year and you rub their face in frustration and coming up just a little bit shy, that team the next year can come back with some focus and some real solid play. And not only is Florida displaying that, but I think Dallas is Exhibit A, and especially in between the pipes with Ottinger, who I felt let me down a little bit last year. Maybe he put too much pressure on himself. Maybe the team put too much pressure on himself. But there's a kid who's grown up since he's 5, 6, 7, wanted to get his name on a cup, and he has a chance to do it again this year. And I really felt strong that he was going to have a much better playoff series, a playoff season this year than last. And it looks like that's been the case, even though in each series, maybe there's been a period and a half or 2 periods where he hasn't been razor's edge. For the most part, his numbers are solid, and he's taken that team on his back.
Yeah, no doubt. And I couldn't agree more with you on the angle of a team kind of getting close and getting sort of feeling like they're there. And then, like, for example, Dallas loses in that Western Conference. And then, 2 weeks later, they watch the team that beat them raise the cup. And then you also factor in the attraction it builds for free agents. You get a guy like Tarasenko in Florida. You get a Matt Duchene who just got bought out that's got like that chip on his shoulder and wants to go to a team that, has the potential to get there. And then, picking up Tanev at the deadline, how big has that been? He plays big minutes against good players. So, I couldn't agree more with you. I do think, I think this is going to be a good Eastern Conference series as well. I lean Florida for a lot of the reasons you mentioned. But, if New York were to win this series in 6 or 7, I wouldn't be, all that shocked either. So, yeah.
Really, the beneficiaries are we hockey fans that get to watch such a great display. I heard earlier, Alex, you and Ian, on that 4-3 and 4-2 win on each side. Yeah. I hadn't honestly even thought of that angle, but the more I think of it, the more I really like it. That's brilliant handicapping, and it really puts yourself in a position to take a few chips off the table if this series, in fact, goes like I think we all feel they might.
Yeah, and another thing, too, is, look, I only bet 6 or 7 games. The series to go 6 or 7 initially with Carolina and the Rangers in the last round. But then I heard Alex on our show talking about how he's taking Carolina 4-2, Carolina 4-3, Rangers 4-2, Rangers 4-3, and the prices are so good, Lou, on each of those that if you just hit one, you're profitable. You're plus units, you're plus money, and that's the thought process.
With Boston, Toronto as well.
You got me onto that, Alex. Exactly, and same thing in this series.
That's really excellent handicapping. As soon as I heard you this afternoon, I went and jumped and started doing the math. I didn't even have to take my socks off. The math looked really good just from first glance.
Well, if I'm doing it, the math isn't too difficult behind it, so that should be a heads up with that. But no, yeah. But ever since I figured that out, like I said, did it with the first round series of Boston, Toronto. It's something I'll be keeping in my pocket moving forward with playoffs in the future.
Yeah, no question. I'll tell you where our math gets fucked up and screwed up here with this is if the series ends in 4 or 5. Then no math's going to save us, unfortunately. But we would be shocked both of us, and really all of us, Matt agrees to. I mean, we'd be stunned if this is a fewer than 6-game series with just how tight and competitive both of these teams are, at this point in the Eastern Conference Final. Florida just had a brilliant chance, and I don't even think they hit the net with it, but they have certainly had a couple of close-in looks here the last moment or two against Igor Shesterkin, but we are still waiting for the first goal here between the Panthers and the Rangers. We're about halfway through the first period right now. Someone in the chat, happy that Lou is joining us. I think it's Gary. Blue, shoot us some UFC. Well, we will. We're not going to let Lou leave without getting some UFC thoughts. Now, the UFC, I believe, is off this week. They don't have an event, but they are coming up to the next big UFC pay-per-view. So there's no question we'll get some thoughts from Lou, who is as good as it gets with UFC, on Makhachev versus Dustin Diamond Poirier coming up on June the 1st in New Jersey. That is a great card. UFC 302 coming up. So we'll definitely get Lou's thoughts on some of those fights later on in the Betcast. How much time do you have, Lou? Just so I have an estimate.
I just want to relax and listen to you guys wax poetic and see what I can pick up. So I'm in no hurry. I have a cold beverage here and a big old pork loin on the smoker. So we're doing great.
What? Are you accusing Lou of lying, Sammy?
Oh, no, I just want to see the beverage.
I've been drinking it while we've been talking.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Here's mine. There we go. Craft beer. This is late lunch, although it's very late. But there we go. Sour IPA.
I disguised mine. Sam, I'm drinking what you're drinking. I just put it in a glass with ice.
Sorry, buddy. We got some Jameson here for the first goal. Don't worry.
Oh, baby.
No doubt. All right, we got a commercial. So, Goose, we'll get you in on this thought here because we haven't talked to you in a while. Craig Berube, it's a fish. Oh, no. There we go. Okay, we'll get him later. We'll ask him about his thoughts about Craig Berube, the Chief, the new head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And what about the new coach with New Jersey?
Sheldon, the old Leaf coach, Sheldon Keefe, head coach of the New Jersey Devils. Here's the thing. Sheldon Keefe has proven in his time with Toronto, he's a great regular season coach. He's had great regular seasons, but he also had a regular season roster that was tremendous, to have success. He's got lots of work to do there with New Jersey. I'm a bigger fan of Keefe than a lot of people. So I'm willing to say I actually like this hire better than LA keeping Hiller. And I actually like this hire better than Travis Green bringing in Ottawa. Yeah, no doubt. I think it's got a better chance for success. He's excited. He jumped at the chance to coach this roster with both Hughes brothers and Dawson Mercer and Jesper Bratt. And, there's just so much young talent on this group that Sheldon Keefe has to work with. They have the pieces up front, real deal prime. What they still have to work on is the blue line, the depth, the ability to shut you down, and the goaltending has to be addressed. That is just the biggest concern right now with the New Jersey Devils. Last year you just had all kinds. Vanacek didn't pan out with the Devils, and obviously, Schmid is still not proven himself at a consistent level, in the NHL. So that's the thing for Sheldon. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good man. I think he commands, players' respect, and he's capable of getting the job done here. But he had a pretty damn good roster on his hands in Toronto. Is he going to be able to make, a roster that you didn't have to make, lemonade out of lemons here? You've got to be able to just develop it here a little bit. We're going to see what kind of a development coach he is here in New Jersey, because there's going to be a lot of developing that's going to need to be done with this team.
At a way too early glance and look ahead, I think New Jersey, their ceiling is they're a wild card team. The floor is they're a lottery team. With this team.
Excuse me for butting in. I got to agree with that. It looks like Keefe goes from a team built for the regular season to another team built for the regular season. To me, the areas of improvement you just highlighted, Ian, goaltender and blue line, that's what makes it in the playoffs. And I think he might do well in the regular season, but without the ability to stop shots and then stop goals, I just think he gets almost the same kind of team. Maybe in Jersey, he gets a little more guts.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, Lou. I mean, how is Vegas? How did Vegas win the cup last year? How did St. Louis win the cup in 2019? They had goaltending and a pretty damn good blue line, tough blue lines, mobile blue line, but a very strong physical blue line, and one that was well above average defensively, defending, keeping the puck out of the net. Those are all the elements those are basically all the elements New Jersey needs to improve on, going into next season. So that's going to be the challenge, I think, for Keefe, and more importantly, Tom Fitzgerald, the general manager of the New Jersey Devils, who's probably going to have to make some roster alterations. Very good penalty kill just now by the New York Rangers. Florida had the first power play of the game, but the Rangers doing a nice job on the penalty kill. I don't think Florida had much as far as quality chances are concerned. So we remain at zeros here with about 7.5 minutes left in the first period. Shots on goal, by the way, are 6-3 right now in favor of the Florida Panthers. So it's been a cagier, I guess you could say, start to game one compared to certainly what we saw game ones in the last round and in the first round, where we saw a lot of goals early and a lot of goals overall. Again, it's still early, but so far through 13 minutes, we have ourselves a scoreless start to this game. And keep in mind, too, since that first, I would say, 5 minutes where both teams were kind of going up and down the ice, trading chances, it has been a little bit more methodical here in the last few minutes to start this game. So the battle of the Russian netminders, Bobrovsky and Shesterkin, and both of them have yet to concede a goal as of yet at this point in time. Shout out, by the way, to everyone in the chat, and we'll do the official, I guess you could say, first toast of the night here on the Betcast. Alex, Matt, Lou. It's great to see Lou again. It's been too long. Sammy P. Great to have him joining us. Cheers to a hopefully a great hockey game. And like I said, and a great series with the Panthers and the Rangers. And again, we are back tomorrow for Patreon members as well with the Edmonton-Dallas Game 1 Betcast for the West Final. No question. So off to a good start. Lou, is there anything as far as live betting you're looking at, or is it just, you know what, I've got my pregame positions locked in. I'm just going to let those play out as it goes and just watch the game?
Yeah, that's really my tact. I was thinking, if anything, if the Rangers were to have a successful evening tonight, I really learned, guys, I'm an old shoe. I learned a live bet from betting hockey years ago and betting it via the series. And so should Florida take a step back, go down 0-1, I'm at that point in time, maybe not right now, am I willing to invest in them. But if they go down 0-1, I don't think I'd have any qualms whatsoever coming back in them. Nobody said that in a 7-game series that you're going to sweep the other team. You're going to lose a game or two, more than likely somewhere. You gentlemen surely believe that because of the bets we just discussed. Right. And so should Florida go down 0-1, and quite honestly, for the Rangers fans out there, the Rangers have won, I think, both of their game ones. So should they go down 0-1, I wouldn't jump off the boat of the Rangers either. In fact, going down 0-1 in a best of 7 is a great opportunity to maximize leverage on your wager. And so that would be the angle I'd look at if Florida happens to drop one here. And I surely wouldn't have a problem if any Ranger fans used that tactic should the Rangers go down 1.
Yep.
And something else that I've looked at too, Gambler, and it kind of goes off of the 6-game, 7-game stat, and I haven't played this yet in any series. Then maybe I think about doing it for Edmonton Dallas before tomorrow. But you can have 2-1, you get back correct score after 3 games. So you could easily take at each side Dallas to be up 2-1 or Edmonton to be up 2-1. And what you betting is there will be a split in the first 2 games, and now you have plus money locked in for either spot game 3. Whatever hits, you can now then roll upon moving forward just game by game. Or even if you say the team that goes up 2-1, you can come back and bet that other side live for the rest of the series down the stretch as well. So that's another kind of fun look to have. You're not really decided with a series at the beginning of game 1.
It's called options and setting your table, and that's brilliant handicapping to create options and set your table for yourself. I love that thought process. I've used it before, and it works great. Can it backfire? Sure. In the unforeseen 0-3 kind of a scenario, sure. We don't win all our bets, but what we can do is try and position ourselves for advantage, and that's perfect as far as that's a great theory right there, Alex.
Yep. The beauty of the adjusted series price bet. It really is. It's something that's a powerful concept because you can use it in your favor and get a better price than you could have gotten before the series. And all it
that's
takes
the
is a
biggest
loss
thing,
or
right?
two. Yep.
And Lou, you can speak on this, obviously being in this longer than any of us, but how things have advanced and the different options that we have now with player props and live series props and in-game wagering. We have to try to find a way to create an advantage on that because, at first glance, you can just kind of look and say, oh, well, they just threw up a million new things. This is all for, the new suckers to try to, get people in. And some things are. But at the same time, there are things where if you start kind of correlating and lining up with other things that you've already been betting on, then you start to find those edges and advantages.
I couldn't agree more. Listen, they have to put up we just got DraftKings here in Arizona, a couple of years ago, and the menu that they have is just, it's mind-boggling. And they have to put up prices and all these options for us. And for a guy like me that tries to shoot with a rifle, maybe not a shotgun, I can pick and choose where I think they may have made a mistake. And that's exactly what you're enumerating there, Alex. And another great thought, to be picky and patient and wait for your spot. And if you can, then I think you can really take advantage. And again, we don't have to bet everything that they put up. We can be very selective and try and pick and choose.
I have never, ever heard somebody compare a rifle blast to a shotgun blast.
That was a good one.
That's perfect.
That was next level right there, Lou.
Well, you know what? When you're old as John Wayne's saddle, Sammy, you pick a few of these things up.
Well, then you could have said musket instead of rifle.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but the musket, the musket and the rifle, that was like the difference in the Alamo. All the Mexican troopers had muskets, but those 225 people in the Alamo had rifles, and that's what made it a close fight.
Yeah, Gunsmoke.
Yep.
I remember that old show with John Wayne. Yeah, good old Gunsmoke. Yeah, that tells you how kind of an old soul I am. Like some of my favorite shows are from the 70s, honestly, in the 80s, quite honestly. Some of my all-time favorite shows are from that era.
By the way, Matt, there's your 7.5 live on Dallas if you want it. Basketball.
Yeah.
Get a good number.
Yeah, I don't know how far behind I am.
I mean, the market closed 4.5, and now you can take 7.5 live.
Yep.
Sam's a dexterous guy watching two sports there. I got my hands full just with hockey.
Just with one. No, exactly.
I always said a fat Italian that can't jump got no business betting basketball.
Lou, one of our friends of the show, he's a current pro hockey player. He's joined us on the show a few times, Jordan Sambrook. He's playing right now for the Florida Everblades in the East Coast Hockey League. Their playoffs, conference finals. And I've got that on one of my TVs. So I've got everything
and it's Florida. Let's go.
Florida goal. Yep. Panthers goal. The Panthers sound.
And
Florida Panthers. Yeah.
I said it.
Matthew Tkachuk.
I said it on the show today. Tkachuk 3 goals in the series, so 1 down.
Good for you. That's
good start,
great.
Matty. Yeah, very good.
Love it.
1-0 Panthers.
We need another goal in this period, though.
Yeah, the over 1.5 still needs one more, but I have more on the full game, so like we needed that for the full game too.
But that live total got to 4.5, and the over was -112.
Yeah,
and obviously it's going to be a lot.
I was going to jump in, Sammy, if it had been another few minutes, and
now it's 5.5, plus
125,
plus 130.
Yeah, 5.5. Yeah,
which is what
4.5 plus money I would have gotten in. Yeah. So 1-0 Panthers. Forsling and Verhaeghe, by the way, getting the assists on that Matthew Tkachuk goal. So 1-0 for the Panthers.
And look where they scored. The Rangers gave up 26 goals in the first 2 rounds of the series, 16 right where that one went, over each shoulder. The Rangers 33 and 16 went that way. As far as Florida, 26 and 16. So if you're going to score on these guys, you better hit their earlobe with the puck, because you're not going to 5-hole them or slide it down on the ice.
It's almost at the point where it's too much that they're trying to go along the ice and open up the 5-hole and just try to get the goalie to just commit. That's not, they're just so good these days. And a lot of times you're going to have to try to elevate the puck against these goalies if you're going to beat them. So that was just a perfect example of it right there by the goal on the goal there for Matthew Tkachuk. So the first goal of the series goes to the Panthers. We have a little over, we have a little over 2 minutes to go in the first period. Wow. We just had a breakaway a moment ago for the New York Rangers. Rang it off the pipe, as Doc Emmerich would say. I miss Doc Emmerich. Lou, how many years did we watch Doc Emmerich call the Stanley Cup final? As good as it gets.
It was as good as it gets, and all these guys are good. I really like Ferraro for his angles.
Yeah,
an ex-player and all, but Doc Emmerich was just a classic guy, and you just hear the voice brings me back to this time of year. Yep. Doc Emmerich and "O Canada," you give me those two, that anthem and Doc Emmerich, and I'm as happy as I can be.
No doubt. Doc was one of a kind. Hit the post with the shot was one of my favorites from him every time. A lot of times when there was a goal post hit by one of the teams. Rangers look like, even though they missed on that breakaway chance, a little bit of pep in their step now.
Might look for them second or first goal of second period, possibly.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh, Panarin again.
Yeah, I mean, starting to buzz a little bit here, the New York Rangers. Like I said, not deterred by giving up the first goal of the series here to the Florida Panthers, but a couple of good chances right after that. But like I said, Rangers have responded the right way. No head down. You just keep playing. You move on. You have to. It's a long game. It's a 60-minute game. It's not a 18 or 19-minute game. So you got to keep pushing here, even when you give up a goal. And that shift after a goal, that's not an overplayed statement by anybody that watches hockey. The shift after a goal is scored, whether you get the goal or whether you give up the goal, it is very, very important from a momentum standpoint to try to either keep the momentum on your side if you scored the goal and get the momentum back on your side if you're the team that gave up the goal. It's very important, that shift after a goal is scored. It looks like we have a regular on our Betcast joining us now as well, Subhuman Gaucho with us. Gaucho, my friend, welcome back. How are you?
I'm great. Great to be here with you, Ian. I gotta appreciate Lou's thoughts here. I think me and Lou might have been the only people looking towards unders in this first period.
There you go. We knew we'd find them at some point, and it's kind of we're lucky to have them in our midst here.
Thanks for raising your head, Subhuman. I needed you.
Once you just know, I took no goal first 10, under 1.5 first period.
That just cashed as well. We've gotten to the intermission. 1-0 Florida.
Yeah, convenient for you to join us at the end of the first period, huh?
I put him in the chat. I appreciate seeing you, Sammy.
What's up,
my
buddy?
guy?
Lou,
appreciate seeing everybody. Matt Robb is just a chair right now, but
he's just getting
Ian, Alex, great to see you too.
Yep.
Lou. Yeah, man. I swear, man, everybody. And I'm not fading the under full game. I don't take anything full game.
Yeah.
But first period. I mean, I saw that coming. Great defensive squads, both of them. Great goalies. You know, everybody talks about Shesterkin. Goalie Bob, he's been good. He's had a good year. He's had a great playoff.
No doubt.
So and I understand why everybody, game one of a series wants to go over. Not with these two teams, in my opinion. Florida. I mean, talk about these forwards. I mean, they might be the best defensive forward squads in the whole league.
That's an excellent point, Gaucho. They don't get respect. I respect them because I think the intangibles of hockey are so important. People look at numbers, scoring goals, getting assists, getting points, goalie making big saves. No one talks about physicality. No one talks about active sticks. No one talks about forwards backtracking and helping the defense when they don't have the puck in the defensive zone. People don't talk about that enough. Winning faceoffs, that's so critical at this time of year. I can't believe how many people gloss over with their hockey analysis teams that are either getting crushed or teams that are owning it in the faceoff circle. It's so important because you win more faceoffs, you have the puck more, and if you have the puck more good things are going to happen than bad things. So the intangibles are very important at this time of year, and I think you could argue Florida does the intangibles as good as anybody. Physical, win faceoffs, led by Barkov in that department. Just take the body, screen the goaltender, just the little things, and adding these little, to make the UFC analogy, a little body blow or a rabbit punch here in the first round. Yeah, it might seem like a little thing, but you add those and string those together, first round, second round, third round, that adds up against a fighter in a UFC fight. Every body check and every hit you throw in game 1 of a series, man, that's fucking going to add up and show up in game 5, in game 6, and in game 7 when all these series get into the deep waters. So that is why Florida is so good in all those little areas, those intangibles, Gaucho, and why they're so difficult right now to beat.
Oh, they're built for the playoffs. They absolutely are. And you said it too. I think this goes to 6 and 7. I bet it as such. I bet it to go to 6. I bet it to go to 7. I bet Florida 4-2. I bet Florida 4-3. And then I put just enough on Rangers to win 4-3 to cover my 4-2 and 4-3 bets with Florida. I like Florida in this series. They're a mean group. They're as cruel as they come. They're built for the playoffs, And I get why everybody wants to go over early. I think this game does, by the way, sneak over 6 even. So anybody that took 6, over 5.5 pre-flop, I think you're very live. But, in the meantime.
Gaucho, we've talked about on these Betcasts, and I'm sure because you've been on a bunch of them here, when it's been 1 goal or less in the first period. I don't want to say this always hits, but then betting a second period over 1.5 or both teams to score in the second period has won more often than it hasn't. And that's when you have 1 goal or less in the first period. So I am going to be eyeing that at some point. Right now, before the period starts, first intermission here, 1-0 Florida. Both teams to score second period is around plus 155, plus 160. From what I am seeing right now.
That's decent for
that's a good price. Yeah. It is. Now, again, we're going to this is an angle that we've used quite a bit where it's a low-scoring first period. We usually get 2 goals. And if you get 2 goals in the second period, it's a good chance we get 1 apiece. And especially now because of the fact where the score is right now. It's 1-0. What does that mean? Well, what it means is if you're the New York Rangers, you got to open up a little bit. You're in the trail position. You're down 1-0. You got to maybe take a few more chances here as far as defensemen pinching, in the offensive zone to keep plays alive, to keep pucks alive. And that could fuel transition opportunity and maybe an odd man rush situation or 2 for Florida as far as counterattack is concerned. So that helps you out as well when you get a score like this where someone's leading going into the period.
I got to announce this play because I'm going to be betting this. And if you have BetMGM, it's available. Team to score first goal I'm waiting for it, second period. I'm definitely going to be on Rangers for this spot, but I'm looking. It closed at plus 300 with Rangers at the end of the first. If we get anything in that spot that's at plus money or even up to laying $1.15, I'm taking a shot with that. Rangers to get the first goal in the second period.
Don't have that. I can tell you this, though. The Dallas Mavericks and Minnesota live line is Minnesota -2 right now. So if anybody took a little 7.5, they're in a good spot for now.
Alex, it just popped back up on MGM.
Yeah.
You have to take it to score first goal in the second period, but it's plus 120 for the Rangers.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Or I'm going to take next goal.
No, I'm getting plus 120.
And you're on Rangers to score the first goal of the second period, Alex, right? Yeah. Right. Okay. Just to clarify that.
Right. Because second goal overall is what is that?
There's a big difference because your bet is only for the second period. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right.
Yeah. There is a difference. That's why I always say to people, make sure you read and comprehend the bet before you place the bet. because
I'd be shocked though.
get absolutely, and just they get all screwed up because they didn't read it word for word what exactly you were putting your money on in the first place.
Yeah. Any time second goal is Rangers minus 115.
No.
So plus 120 for the first goal in the second period. That's the spot.
No. We learn that usually, at least I learned that the hard way. You know, you make a mistake and then you wise up. But it usually, unfortunately for me, it takes me burning my finger before I realize you better watch it to see if that pot's hot or not.
Right.
No doubt. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm going to be eyeing both teams to score second period here. I'm just going to wait for the period to start just because I know, we might get a few scoreless minutes, right? And maybe we can get this pushed up to plus 200 with both teams to score. I'd definitely be
shooting for
that price. Yeah.
I was waiting for like maybe 175, 180. Plus
I'm going to be greedy, Alex. Now, this doesn't always work out for me. Sometimes I get greedy. I look for a certain price, and it's 2 minutes too late, and then bam, you missed it. But
plus 175 is where I'm jumping in on personally. So I'll make that disclaimer.
Well, and I'm going to be consistent, guys. I respect all y'all's angles, and that's all good. But I'm riding this under.
Absolutely,
I'm going to just keep riding it. So, and I don't have a problem.
Sorry to interrupt. I was in and out. Are you on the under full game too?
Excuse me. Yes, I'm on the under 5.5. Yeah, and I told Ian earlier today I was going to bet the under 5 at the big plus price. Well, I got a little bit nervous there and shriveled up to an extent and took the 5.5 because I don't want I don't want to get too greedy. I just want to try and get the win. Because I do respect all you guys being on the other side of that.
I didn't realize it was shot time, but apparently it was for Matt and Alex.
Look at the chat.
I'm not doing shots. The beer's good enough for me.
That's right. Thank God I don't have any in the house.
Yeah, I didn't do one either. Don't worry.
Matt's trying to make sure he's drunk on the plane tomorrow for that flight.
Oh, I understand it. That's the only way to fly.
Yeah.
Oh, I will be. I'm in airport like 2.5 hours early, get a few drinks in you kind of guy.
Yep.
I don't like rushing through security.
Yeah.
I don't like not be hurried.
What a time for Matt, guys, to be going back to Dallas because the Mavs are in the conference final, the Stars are in the conference final, and they're alternating nights. Tonight it's the Mavs, tomorrow it's the Stars, Friday the Mavs, Saturday the Stars. That's a heck of a time right there, right now, if you're in the sports fan.
Yeah, remind me, Matt. What you're at a Stars game here coming up, right? Is that game 2 or 1?
Yeah, my little brother will actually be at game 1 tomorrow night with Landon in the chat. I land like right around puck drop, and actually my buddy that I'm staying with lives 5-10 minutes from the AAC. So if I'm on time, I'm gonna Uber to my buddy's, drop my bag, and then go to on the concourse to the AAC. There's a place called Hero that's like a big watch party. So I'm going to go there hopefully for the back half of the game, maybe the third period, and then hopefully meet up with Ryan and Lando and my other buddy that I'm staying with and stuff like that post game. So, and then, I'll be there for the game on Saturday night.
That's super cool. You're going to see Landon there. And someone that you've met through this show, and we couldn't be happier about that.
Well, that's very neat.
Yeah.
That'd be a second time where viewers have met at games.
John Massey and who was it? Rico and Barry. Rico and Barry and John Massey were at a Senators Rangers game, wasn't it, in Ottawa during the regular season? Yeah. Yep. They took a picture too. There was the two of them, and John Massey was not smiling as usual.
Well, if any friend of the show ends up at a Detroit game next year, reach out because I have a feeling I'll be at a lot of them.
Oh yeah, the pizza box. Yep. Little Caesars. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm allowed in Detroit, but somewhere anywhere else, maybe.
I think Lou's. There we go.
There's my girl.
She
There's
is.
my little girl, Evie. Evie, give him a look at the camera.
Oh, great.
That's my little boxer.
Great name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
She's a handsome little gal.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a tiger, let me tell you. She runs the household. She wanted to just get on the air quickly there.
No, she said Matt Robinson's dog's not the only one that can get some FaceTime and some camera time here.
So Matt, where do you live that you're is it a long trip to Dallas for you, or is it a hop, skip, and a jump?
Yeah, so you mentioned you're in Phoenix. So my little brother actually goes to Arizona State, so he's down in Tempe. So he'll be a quick flight over from Phoenix. I actually live up in the Reno Tahoe area now.
Good.
So I've been out here a couple years. But yeah, we both grew up in Plano, just 20 minutes north of Dallas. I lived there out of college previous to moving here for a few years, and so, but yeah, we're both flying in for it, so it should be fun. But our older brother actually, him and his wife and their 2 daughters still live in the Dallas area, so we'll also get to see them and our nieces and stuff. So be a good little weekend trip.
Don't get any better than family. And I'll tell you, I've been to Mavericks and Stars games. In fact, it was a back-to-back situation like this some years ago. I couldn't be more impressed with Texas as a whole, but Dallas overall was just a great city. There, food, people, everything was great. We were staying at some hotel where I could walk to the stadium. It was just it was a great situation. I hope you have nothing but fun.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, Dallas is awesome. I mean, obviously up in Reno, like you've got Lake Tahoe 20 minutes away. There's a lot of like outdoor natural beauty. But that's one thing I miss is just the professional sports. The food is unbelievable in Dallas, as you mentioned. There's so many good outdoor sports bars and like good food spots and food trucks and, tons of different, like there's so many areas you can like go out before the game and go to 4 different places on your 10-minute walk to the arena. And, they're all cool and they're all different and, things like that. So it's definitely an awesome city.
Now you have gambling in Reno, but let me ask, did they legalize Texas yet?
They have not.
That's surprising.
I want to say a couple of the, I don't even know, to be honest, but like some of the like DraftKings stuff, maybe you can do there. I don't know. But yeah, obviously here it's plentiful. There's a casino with a William Hill Sportsbook, like literally 50 yards behind my apartment. I generally use the MGM app. That's just what I've gotten most used to. But yeah, there's definitely a number of options here. Although all of those, FanDuel and stuff like that is not allowed here because of the casinos. So from that front, I can't do all those like weird apps.
No sports
weird apps, but like nationwide. Yeah,
that's Nevada. That's Nevada in there. It's right out of The Godfather, where that cowboy tells Al Pacino is like, you boys don't know how we do things here.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I like this guy Lou. I don't know where you found him, Ian, but he's a good one.
I didn't find him. I've known him for a while. I've known him back in Vegas, watching the UFC at the Super Book way back.
That's right. That's right. Brian Edwards was with us. Remember that? Yeah. That was some years ago. We had a fun. That was a fun night that night.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I try and keep my finger to the pulse. Not everybody has been involved in this as long as me, and to see a crop of you guys that are, you're all in your 30s. I'm taking it, young, smart, involved in gambling. It's exciting for me to see this because for damn near my whole life, I never thought I was going to be able to see this. I mean, how does weed get legalized before gambling does? And it was too late for both of them, if you ask me. But still, the fact that we finally have legalized gambling in most of the states, I think it's long overdue. And I love being involved with all you young enthusiasts that are bringing vibrancy to gambling.
I got to correct you on something, Lou. 10 years ago when you met me, I was young then. Starting not to feel that way now. 40 is like knocking on my door right now.
Yeah, I'm turning 35 in 2 weeks. So I was young at 25 when I was out there.
Oh hell, I got bunions older than you boys. Come on now.
Hey, I tell you what, boys, you caught me at a weird time. I was kind of got busy outside for a second there, so I had the bright lights on me at first. Now I feel like I'm telling you ghost stories.
I was gonna say you're in the dark there. What is it? Are you afraid?
I'm gonna retreat back indoors here and get some better lighting on me. But I put it in the chat. Matthew Tkachuk, first goal scorer, plus 950.
Oh wow!
Smack that on a boost.
Jeez,
That gave me plus what did it give me? Plus 1,900.
Oh shit!
$25 good for 500. So that's a start to the night.
That's
a start to the night there, huh?
Way to go!
So, with that, I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'll be right back in 5 or so minutes.
Sure, right, sounds good. Yep. Speaking of Rico must have heard us when we talked about his encounter with John Massey in Ottawa. There he is in the chat there. He's on both teams to score second period. Rangers' second goal. Rangers' second goal on the power play specifically. So method of next goal, which is now available for live betting in
next
some
level.
spots.
I like that.
Yeah. Power play goal specifically, and I'm sure he'd be able to get a good price on that.
I'll talk more about it tomorrow, but that's something I like a lot in the Dallas Edmonton series. That over 1.5 power play goals, I saw plus 154 at FanDuel. I grabbed that already, so I'm going to be on that a couple times in the Edmonton. And Dallas.
I just took more Mavericks plus 7 at minus 115 live.
Yeah. All right.
I know we're on a hockey podcast.
No, of course, no. We're keeping it. I'm keeping it. I got it on one of my.
That's what I'm watching right now.
Actually, I've got the hockey games. I've got the ECHL with Florida on in one of the screens.
So I got
NHL game and the NBA game on. Yep.
Plus 7.5, plus 7 on Dallas live.
Yeah, plus 7.
Live number is 5.5 there right now with the Mavs and the Timberwolves. Yeah, 39-32 for Minnesota. Speaking of NBA, I will say this. It's a sad day because now it feels like NBC, Amazon, and ESPN are going to make the new NBA deal. And I know Lou is to say Lou's not a big basketball fan would be an understatement when it comes to Lou. But I will say this. I think even the people that weren't the biggest basketball fans, they appreciated, respected, loved, laughed at the Inside the NBA studio show for the last 25 years with Ernie Johnson and Charles Barkley and Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaq. And to think that after next season, that potentially could be gone, potentially for good. It's a sad, sad day. It's like been the predominant, the best, studio show in pro sports probably for the last, quarter of a century. And it's a chance that with TNT losing the NBA rights, Turner losing the NBA rights, that show is gone after next year. So that's the sad part about the new renegotiated national TV rights deal that looks like it's going to go through for the NBA.
Well, what I'll add to that, Ian, is that in the past year, I regard that as maybe the best TV program on live air. I do not watch TV shows. I watch live sports, but I'll cut away from hockey to watch those 4 guys go at it on that show. Ernie is magnificent, and those 3 personalities gel so well together. I don't know anything about the sport, but watching that show is absolutely awesome, and it's the best show on TV as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think people agree with that. And that you're just the perfect example of why that's so successful. People that aren't even the biggest NBA fans and basketball fans tuning in and watching and enjoying it. And that tells you how good that it's been, for all these years.
If you go through in sports history, all of the different pre-game shows, post-game shows, what have you, the only thing that's more iconic would probably be the original NFL Today with Brent Musburger and Jimmy the Greek.
100%.
Outside of that, this is the best show for any pre-game or post, because I don't watch most pre-game or post-game shows. It's shit we've all read over the last hours or days or weeks before a game has started. But that's a show, especially in the post game and the recap. It's entertaining, it's informative, it's everything you want out of a post game show in any sport, and they've done the best job at it for all this time.
Yeah, I even see the other shows, in their own way trying to emulate that,
Yep.
even in the hockey studio with Biz, who's a knucklehead, and I get, the diverse personalities, and as dry as he is, I'd listen to King Henrik for 20 minutes and just let him talk. I mean, just let him fill me with knowledge, and I'll listen to anything he says. But that's a good show. But you can see they're modeling themselves after the Kings, correct, and the Kings are Ernie and that crew.
Yeah, that no doubt. And that's the Turner brand. They're trying to recreate the magic they have with inside the NBA with their NHL studio component, which it's not on the level of the NBA guys, but it's far better than the other NHL stuff you see on ESPN.
Oh God, yeah.
The other, it's not even cleansed. Even Hockey Night in Canada. Like, I enjoy the TNT panel for hockey way better than Hockey Night in Canada right now with Biz and Liam. Liam McHugh is very much, he's got those Ernie Johnson traits as a host. Yeah. He's very good setting it up. He's become really good at that. I don't think Liam gets the credit he should be getting.
Oh yeah.
He's really good in that host role. I think he's learned some things from Mr. EJ since he's been at Turner. He's been phenomenal. He sets it up on a tee for Paul Bissonnette, Henrik Lundqvist, Ensign Carter, Gretzky when he's on. He's done a nice job in that role as host.
Yeah, and they have like you said, they have a better fit in that is comparable to inside the NBA, where you have kind of, PK Subban for ESPN kind of giving the kind of comedic, kind of edgy angle, and Martin Messier playing the straight man. It just doesn't fill out the same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what I like about the TNT hockey is that Barkley will get those sets. Got to be like sister sets. Barkley just walks over there and starts BSing with those guys, which I find entertaining as well.
And he loves hockey, and that's why they bring him on the NHL show every now and then. I'm going to jump in on it right now. I've seen a lot of chances, and I don't know if I want to wait much longer. I'm in at plus 220 with both teams to score. So good price. I mean, there's lots of chances right now, and a little bit on over 1.5 as well, which is currently plus 110.
230. I grab it. I got it.
Yeah, so a little bit on both right now.
And right there, guys, that's how you bet. If that's how you handicap it, and that's what you feel, then you can't get cold feet. You gotta. I mean, no balls, no glory here. And I respect you guys for sticking to your guard and going with your gut. That's how you win, and that's not only how you win, but that's how you max profit, by allowing those prices to fester and increase, and then you jump in. So good luck to you with that. I don't have any period position, so I'll pull you in. I just looking at the full game, and really it doesn't matter what we bet. There's going to be an outcome, and some of us are going to win and lose, and we just hope that we can gamble on to game 2.
That's couldn't have said it better. I mean, it's just they're 100% everything. You're right, and it's just, and at the end of the day, win or lose, it's one game and one result, and one, or in the case of your pregame and your live bets, one series of results in one game. You've got many more games and many more sports and many more days and many more weeks ahead, and you always have to keep the long-term perspective in mind. That's why it's very frustrating for me when I get people frustrated when I have a bad day, and I hate it. Obviously, we don't want it, we don't like it, but you have to have the long-term goal in mind. That know that it's inevitable. You're going to have a rough patch. You're going to have a day where things don't go in your favor. But if you're making smart decisions long-term, you're putting in the work. Your process, is one that will pay off and pay dividends in the long term. Then there's no reason to panic. And I always try to accentuate that to everyone that's, a Dub Club subscriber with me, or watching my shows and listening to what I'm giving out on the shows. And it's just very important. You've got to be able to think of the long-term goal when you're doing this.
And one thing I'll say too, and I know, people have obviously been critical, especially in the last 10 to 15 years, of people who sell picks. But for me, in selling picks and having private clients or having subscriptions, it keeps me even more grounded, because I realize that there's other people's money at stake on this too. So where maybe I would go and do something a little bit reckless, which I don't think I do. I think I'm a pretty kind of head on straight kind of gambler. But I have to keep in mind that I have clients that I'm responsible for as well. So for me, it's a responsibility. It's not something that I take for lightly or take for granted. I want to make sure that there are other people who maybe their bankrolls aren't as big, but I can at least give them a chance to maximize their profits if they're betting smaller and not put them in jeopardy with their bankroll if I'm having a bad day.
That's a really great point right there.
Yep.
And, when you first start to do that, it's a different handicap when you got a bunch of other kids. I say kids, most everyone's younger than me, but you have a bunch of people relying on you, and it doesn't maybe go your way. And listen, it doesn't always go your way. If you've done this long enough, you're gonna hit some spells. And if you say that it doesn't happen to you, then you lose a little credibility, because it happens to everyone. In fact, I started this season in hockey after a banner season last year, 0-7, and I'm just about to dig my way out. But your record is what it is, and there's no need to have to hide from it. It happens to us. And so at that point in time, it becomes, how can I maintain my equilibrium and show these people how you get out of this? And so you I got every trick in the book. I lower the bet so that if I win, I wonder why I didn't bet more, or I'll take a night off. Whatever you have to do to shock the system is what I'll do. And the key is, Alex, what you said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So it's the long term. No need to get impatient.
Let me ask you a question, Lou, because this is interesting. I know people are watching for bets and all that, but I think this stuff is way more, important than just a random bet on a hockey game. Yeah. And this is what I try and talk about on Chicken Dinner all the time. Like, because you said you started 0-7 in a season, right?
Yeah, this season.
Clients. Yeah, you got clients. I don't have clients. I got followers. You got clients that are paying you money. Like, how do you deal with 0-7 out of the gate? Because I know people want to burn your fucking house down when you start 0-7. Like, how do you get through that mentally? Seriously, because we all go through it. You do it at a different level than we do it.
Well, I'll tell a quick story. But when Jonathan Quick in 12 won the Stanley Cup, that season, I was writing for Chris Andrews of the South Point. He had a webpage called Against the Number. And I told people, if you don't know who Jonathan Quick is, you're going to know him after this Stanley Cup, because the guy is unbelievable. And at 25-1, LA won the Stanley Cup. And I knew hockey, and I proclaimed myself an absolute great hockey handicapper. The next year I start writing for Chris Andrews, and I couldn't find my rear end with two hands and an Indian guide. I was lost, and I wanted to quit. That my first instinct is to get pissed. The second one is, the hell with this. I'm not going to, but how do I teach young kids how to gamble and work their way through it if I'm going to curl up and quit? So I couldn't do that. And so I relied this season. I remembered what happened then. And it took me until the final series of, it was Chicago Blackhawks and the Bruins in 13 to finally turn a profit. It was just a small profit. So I relied on that. And what I did was, I wanted to get pissed, but I didn't want to quit this time. I knew what my responsibility was. And Sammy, what I did was, I kept telling these guys, listen, we're 7 games in and I got 3.5 rounds. I'm not done. I know I'm going to win at this. And it's been a bad start. I'm just going to ask you guys to hold on and hang on here with me. And they've all done that. And not one of them complained or bitched. Now, did they maybe not make some of the plays 1 or 2 of the nights? Did they back off their they could have done all of that.
You can't control that, though. That's right.
No, I can't. Yeah, right. All I can do is make my suggested wager and record my actual result. No. And that's what I do. And really, you hear, boy, this guy's good. He has Florida at 7-1 and Dallas at plus 850. Well, I'm still a few units down here into this third round, the Wales and the Campbell Conference Championships, and I have more work to do. But I'm not afraid to admit that, because it's real, and this is a real business. And I see you, Sam, especially on Twitter, these yahoos jumping all over you. They call you names, and you're giving them positions for free, and now they want to bury you. I mean, it's just a funny deal how it's turned, That said, I'm glad we are where we are now, because it used to be, oh, Lou, yeah, he gambles, and it's like Pigpen in the Charlie Brown. He walks around, he's got this plume of dirt around him. That's what it was like being a gambler for 40 years for me. And now that it's legal, at least there's some legitimacy. Some people want to hear from us, and what they need to hear is reality. And yeah, with the hot streaks that are great, there also comes some times where you have to work your way out of some trouble, and that's reality.
Yeah, quickly. Like I started in football, I started 11-23 this year, college and pro. And then, everybody wanted my throat, and you suck, and you're a pussy, and all that shit. I mean, it's way worse than that, obviously. You get the worst in the DMs.
Sure.
And then I ripped off a 27-6 run. And Lou, somebody said, "What did you change?" And I said, "Nothing. I changed nothing. Like I just kept doing what I was."
That's your process that's worked long term, and you had faith and confidence would work again. Yes.
Yep. That's it.
And it was good that you didn't change anything. You don't want to change. You got to trust your process. This is how you got there. And that said, you didn't hear as much after you did 26-7 as you did when you had the other way.
No, well, I'm supposed to go 20, 26-7.
Well, either that or it was their picks. They used your advice, but it was their pick then. And then when they lost, it was your fault.
Yep, exactly.
And Lou, you touched on it as well, where like I said, it's kind of a, people looked at you funny when you said what you do for a career. And now I'm in a spot even here and being in a state where it's not, completely legal. But if I tell people what I do for a living, then now they're amazed, and now it opens up a whole new conversation about different things. So yeah, the perception has definitely shifted within the last few years as far as that regard.
Fortunately.
No doubt. No, you're 100% right about how it's just now you can't get a show on television that's not talking the point spreads and the totals, and for an NBA game, an NFL game, a college football game, it's just completely different. And certainly from, even when I started and Alex started, which was like only 10 to 14 years ago, in that range, like even then, you almost felt like, are people still ashamed of sports bettors? People still ashamed of sports handicappers, and even acknowledging them, and pretending they don't exist, pretending they're scum of the earth. That's what it was like.
Yeah.
That's honestly what it was like before legalization. Like there'd be zero respect for anybody doing this full time.
It went from me going to a bar and watching a game, and my friends asking me, what I have money on, and then when I explain what it is, they look at me like I'm speaking in Mandarin. To then all of a sudden, my mom will call me and she goes, "Oh, I'm watching this game right now, randomly on TV. Like, what's the line on it?" Like that change happened in a decade, essentially. So
no, I have pretty good neighbors for the most part, But even there was one time at an old place I was at, where I just started into the career, and they had no clue, sports betting or anything. They'd never heard of, that being something someone could take as a career path. And one of the time I said, "Well, what are you doing for how's things going? How's work?" I said, "Well, I'm doing sports betting and handicapping full time." He says, "Can't you get thrown in jail for that?" Is what they asked me. It's like, whoa, can't you get thrown in? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that thought that, for the longest time, and especially before these last few years when there's been a million DraftKings ads and FanDuel ads and all this stuff since legalization went through. But yeah, I mean, there's a total lack of regard and respect for anybody that did this full time.
Just knowledge, general public knowledge of it.
Well, they used to think you were a bookie, so you'd have to say, no, I don't do anything. I don't do anything illegal. Then I'd have to stop and say, well, I don't take bets. I guess I am doing, because I'm shopping offshore and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Let me just say, it's so much easier now. The only, the only paradox is that, I see these 20-some-year-old beautiful people that don't know, they haven't served their time yet, but because they're with a network and they have sex appeal or whatever it is they may have, they come from a great journalistic background, they've been propped into a position to have to talk about something that they're not quite comfortable with. Yep. And that, I don't say it bothers me, but I find it intriguing. I use the Spank Odds app for all my lines. And one of his advertisements is, you have to take advice from amateurs, and it has like 3 4-year-old kids looking at a computer screen. And that's kind of, what I feel sometimes when I see some of these national TV shows and everything. And again, they're looking to sell spots. I get it. But for those out there looking to try and earn and try and trust a handicapper, boy, go with some pedigree, somebody that's been around a little while. Don't care what they look like or how they talk. Find somebody that's got some results that'll ship you their past results. And if you trust them, then belly up with them and let them ride for a while. Be patient.
To be fair, though, Lou, think how much money we make if we slap the fucking wig on you. Think about it. Like, if we just put a long wig on you, like, we'd make millions.
You better add some lipstick too, Sammy.
Oh man, it's true. I mean, they've got, like, I know in college football for years, and look, great player in his day, nice man. I think he's good in the booth, Joey Galloway, and they're slapping betting segments on this poor guy over and over and over again, and you can tell he's out of his element. There's no question about that. He's out of his element when it comes to that. And look, Joey Galloway is a tremendous football player, and he's solid in the booth, but that's not something ESPN should have done. It doesn't hurt to get people that are qualified handicappers in there in some of these segments, to discuss this stuff. It doesn't have to be just someone, because they played football, they know the ins and outs and intangibles and betting and the line movements and certain scheduling spots that we talk about as handicappers. So, it's that kind of thing where it's all about who you're going to assign to these roles. And a lot of times the assignments to these roles have not been good for these networks, since they've felt like, hey, it's the big thing now. It's popular now. It's blown up in the mainstream sports betting, and they'll just put anyone in front of a camera just to get some content out there about sports betting.
And our show proves it too. I mean, we have players on from different levels and different places around the world, and they know hockey well, but some of them know betting a little bit more than others. Where they can give you all the X's and O's and break everything down as far as the game and can help us as far as just looking at things game by game, different players, different scenarios, different coaches. But as far as when we start throwing out lines and numbers and different things like that, they're completely lost. So like I said, it's a two-sided thing where you can know all the ins and outs of the game itself, but if you don't understand what these numbers mean and how to translate the two, then that service doesn't help.
Oh yeah, I've always said that the last good gambler is an ex-player. It takes players some time to indoctrinate themselves into the business of gambling, and some can do it very, very well, but it takes a while to translate from X's and O's to how to read a point spread and line movement. No question about it.
I basically say you're creating another personality, essentially, when you're doing that. Even as us, even if we didn't play sports. But I have, just as a fan, a lifelong fan, and how I've watched the games, I still have a dual personality from that of where I am as a gambler. So I think that's really the biggest thing that next player would have to do in order to really understand.
I think that's very well said, Alex. Yeah. It has a way of you watch sports differently, in a way. You still love it, but you have a way of
being able
just constantly looking.
Like I said, we talk about if you're still a fan, if you bet for years and you're still a fan of a team, and to be able to separate that, I can look at the Hawks line and go, okay, this is awful. They're not going to win this game. Doesn't mean I'm not a fan of them anymore. I still love them just as much as I did as a little kid. But I have to understand this is a business and this is what I'm doing. That's separate from what I feel or what I want to win. I need to know what I'm looking at and guesstimate and do the best of my ability to what I think is going to happen in that contest.
Yeah.
By the way, I should point out, Florida just had a power play. It's their second power play of the game. They didn't score on it. It's still 1-0. Florida's not taking a penalty. And if you are looking at a surefire way to enhance your chances of winning this series, it's staying out of the box against this Rangers power play. And they have done an outstanding job of that so far here in the first 13 minutes. Because that Ranger power play, as we know, has been awesome in the first 2 rounds. So Florida, we were always questioning coming into this series, could they maintain their discipline? could they play that physical style and not take that extra whack or that extra stick, or anything after a whistle to put themselves in the penalty box? So far, so good.
Great point. Really great point right there.
Yep. And speaking of great points there, there's Maddie's dog making the appearance. There
What
we
a
go.
good-looking guy there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to be missed, Matt, when you leave tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, gentlemen, I got to say my pork roast is done on the smoker and I'm getting called. So I want to just say thank you so much for having me on
Lou.
Subhuman.
Thank you, Lou.
Great meeting you, Subhuman. Sammy, Alex, Ian, really appreciate it. And Matt, have a great time in Dallas, brother.
And Lou, if
It's
you're
my pleasure,
welcome
Lou.
tomorrow night as well.
I'm all over it. I'm coming right back tomorrow night.
That's
Thanks
good.
so
Wonderful.
much, guys. Good
See
luck,
you, Lou.
everybody.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
roast.
Good night.
Thank you.
He will. I know it. It sounds good. I'm getting hungry just thinking of that roast.
Kyrie got us down to 3 at half, Matt. Kyrie, 3-point play, down 3 at half.
Yeah, that was a high. I have the over at 205.5, and it's that last like 4 minutes makes me feel real good about it.
Yeah, I think you're going to hit because live total is 223.
I have the full game over, and I have the full game Dallas plus 4.5, but I have Dallas first half plus 2.5, and it loses by the hook.
Oh,
Down by 3.
I haven't even been paying attention. I took first half and full game under. What did the first half do?
Yeah.
62-59.
Oh, it went over.
Yeah.
Oh,
Went over.
Yeah,
well, that's too bad.
I got the first
120 points.
102
God,
or
not even close.
104.5, I think.
First
Was
half
what I
over.
got.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it
Okay.
hit easy, but
9 shots. That's it for the New York Rangers. Florida's played a great road game so far. Very, very solid to this point. Like, I can't even say Bobrovsky's had to be really great on any one shot.
Paul Maurice definitely, drilled it in during these days off to stay out of the penalty box. That should have one of his biggest keys.
That's why he's Paul Maurice, as in a great coach. Yep. He is. He's probably looking back at that day when he fucking walked away from Winnipeg as one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, quite honestly. Because look, he knew something that tells you how smart this man is. He knew.
Yeah.
Like, I can only go so far with this fucking group, this core here with Winnipeg, with your Scheifele's and your Connor Hellebucks and all these guys. You could only get so far with them. And it's, and then Bonus takes over and they have that first round bad, series against Vegas, and they lose 4 straight. Same thing this year against Colorado. Paul Maurice knew, if I stick around here, I'm doing myself a disservice. He felt he was doing the team a disservice, but I think deep down inside he felt more so I'm doing myself a disservice because I don't think there's anything I can do to push this group over the top. And sure enough, he was fucking right. These last 2 years, they get a damn bit further at Winnipeg. Yeah,
I think we all know how eloquent Paul Maurice is with his words, and how articulate this guy is. But yeah, this guy's he's a great mind. I'm a fan of him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's part of why I back the Panthers as much as I do. It's part of why I backed him tonight. I think he's a very intelligent coach.
Well, they are pressuring the Rangers a little bit right here. Barkov just missed a great chance in tight on Shesterkin, put it wide. And now they're pressuring a little bit in the Rangers zone. Offensive zone time, this is a good stat, and I'm definitely keeping more track of it because I think this is a good indication of the flow of the game. O-zone time. Forget shots, forget shot attempts. Just the time spent in the offensive zone. It's 9 minutes and change for Florida, and it's like 5 minutes and change for the Rangers. And you know what's funny is that's like 15 minutes of the overall game. And we're almost 40 minutes into the game. That means there's been a lot of neutral zone play here in the first 2 periods, which explains why there's only 1 goal on the board.
Yeah, I don't want to bet any more overs in third period.
No, I think it's tough now because these second period looks are, they're on life support right now. I'm counting them as losses right now, but. No, it's surprising because, like I said, game ones have been just ultra reliable for goals left and right. And like I said, we had that great start to the game in the first period. That's when the flow was at its highest. Those first few minutes, they were going.
It wasn't just a trend; it was the initial pace of the game suggested over at 5.5 and at 1.5 early.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it's been a really controlled, disciplined game, both sides, and it's actually been proof that a game can still be entertaining even with one goal. And there's been chances, there's been looks, it's been hard play on both sides. There's been a couple chances. Like I said, you're going to get games like this, especially this deep into the playoffs, moving forward. I don't know if it makes me rethink Edmonton, Dallas, because I already did take a piece of over by Fecta there, although I didn't like that one as much as I like this one. And this is the one that's going to fall way short.
Yeah, I haven't moved on it. Like I said, other than over 1.5 power play goals, I haven't moved on anything else as far as game one for Dallas.
I do like that.
I like the over in that one a little bit better, to be
honest. The Oilers and Stars, yeah. Dallas has kind of been a game one over team too. If you look back, Vegas in the first round, Colorado in the second round. Edmonton played that crazy game. Edmonton's game ones went over too, if I'm not mistaken. LA and Vancouver, both of them went over. So I'd stick with it. I would. Yeah.
I expect I will. I haven't bet it yet, but I expect I will.
But I am on Edmonton. I didn't mention this on the show today because I'm talking about game one tomorrow. But I am on Edmonton in game one. Dallas just no good in game ones, in my opinion.
So then, Ian, are you betting just Edmonton, or are you doing Edmonton game one, Edmonton series, Edmonton game one, Dallas series?
No, I'm not taking Edmonton series, not yet. I fully expect Edmonton's got a great chance to win. Game one.
If you were to grab any kind of piece, considering you're heavier pot committed on Dallas, it would make sense for you to bet both of those spots, Edmonton game one, and each side to win the series. At better price.
No, you're right. Actually, now that I'm thinking of the math in my head, you're right. That's not bad.
Does make sense. Yeah.
It's funny because I like Edmonton in game one because we saw this with Boston, Florida, the team that's off the momentum of the 7 games. You thought they'd hit the wall in game one. I thought Boston would hit the wall in game one. Couldn't have been further from the truth. And I think Edmonton's actually going to come out flying, tomorrow. And Dallas is the team that's off, a long respite. And they just haven't been good in game ones. The Dallas Stars 0-5 under Pete DeBoer. He's not Mr. Game 1 like he's Mr. Game 7. So I know Matt's giving me the old stank eye, but nevertheless, I like Edmonton in game 1. I mean, I've seen enough now. Dallas in game 1, no bueno for me. They're going to win the series. I'm very confident in them winning the series. They lose game 1, they win in 6. I'm sticking to it.
I mean, I agree with you. The trend is obviously, pushing that way, but I mean, the Avs were really, really lucky to win game 1 against Dallas. That game should have.
They were up 3-0 in that game.
They were up 3-0, and then they also dominated overtime. The shots were like 10-1, and the Avs scored on their one chance.
Some teams just had this. Like, listen, the Chicago Blackhawks, one of the biggest things I made money with during their run was fading them the first road game, whether it was game 1 or game 3. They had a stretch where they went like 3-12 from 09 to 16. So even in the years where they won, but you still faded them the first game outside of Chicago. And
as favorites a lot of that time, right, Alex?
Right, and they were, I think, they were oftentimes they were favorites, yeah. So.
That's the one thing about Betcast with very few goals. In the games and on the Betcast is that it's very difficult to make live positions. It just is. It's just very. It's just very. We'd love to be able to give you some more live action here, but I've got to think long and hard now what I'm going to do here in the third period.
I'm waiting. I say wait till the third period to do anything at this point, but it's slim pickings for sure.
Yeah, I talked about how I liked those first period unders. Under in the first 10, under in the first period. I thought I would be going over, but it's hard to, recommend it to anybody at this stage. Maybe when this period ends, maybe, but yeah, I don't have a strong feel for an over.
The highlight of the night for me has been our buddy Jordan Sandbrook scoring for Florida in the ECHL conference finals. Yeah. That's been my highlight so far. Yeah. We only have 2.5 minutes, by the way, left in the second period here. So The second that conversation, by the way, with Lou was awesome. It's just it's been way too long since I had seen him or talked to him, and
Yeah, same.
All of a sudden I just saw out of the blue he retweeted one of our Ice Guys posts like a week or so ago, and that's what it got me to reach out to him. I'm like, hey, Lou, how are you? How are things going with you? And then I just said, you know what? We do these Betcasts. Would you want to join us for one of them? And she said, yeah, absolutely. So there we go. And that's how we got Lou on here tonight.
Yeah.
And Sammy P.
That was a lot
Lou,
of fun.
because Lou's been on VSiN a lot. And of course, Sammy P. used to be there. So, yeah.
That was a lot of fun hearing from him, hearing his thoughts.
He's definitely been through it all and seen it all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Terry Edelman, but come on, Terry. Everyone is on the over, and neither of the teams look interested in shooting the puck. And people think sports are fixed. I wonder why. Come on, Terry. It's not that. I know. Guarantee you they're not fixing it for the under.
No.
Panthers and the Rangers tonight. No. That's not the case. Yeah. No. He's very emotional. That Terry
is that on Twitter?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. He I just saw that right at the top of my feed that Terry posted. Obviously, he's on the over too, but I ain't chalking it up to that. I'm chalking it up to both teams are playing a sound, sturdy, structured defensive game. You know, not giving not many penalties so far, and you got two good goalies. And at the end of the day, you can get games like this in a series like this. Yeah.
I can't absolutely wait until next month when they do the NHL awards. That's going to be a fun night on Twitter for sure. The NHL award night.
Yeah.
Because I have receipts from so many people. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, Rick, looks like we have our first power play coming up here for the New York Rangers. So here we go. The first,
Panarin time.
Yeah. First penalty of the. I don't think Paul Maurice likes the call, but he's not really bitching about it too much, or because he kind of had that look on his in his face, like, oh, I don't like that call very much. But I think he realized it's our first penalty of the game. I'm not going to really complain too much. Look who's here. We talk about Jordan Sambrook, one of our player guest friends.
How's it going?
Playing in the ECHL. Look who's here. Another one, Ray Bryce, who's just recently retired from hockey, but he's turned into one of the hardest working fucking small business owners and entrepreneurs going right now with trying to get this business off the ground. Ray, what's going on?
Not much. Just a lot of work for a little pay right now.
Well, it can only lead to a bigger amount of pay unless you put in the work to sow the seeds, if you will, right?
Yeah.
For what's to come. How's it going?
Not bad. Just like I said, a lot of work, little pay. We're like a week away from today till we're on the ice. So just trying to grind that shit out. I'm going through rosters right now. I need a little break. I was like, I'm hopping on here and change my luck. I'm on the Rangers tonight, and they're laying an absolute egg.
But they have a power play, Ray, and I think Alex is on them to score. Well, Alex is on them to score, I believe, the next goal in the second period. So time's wasting on that. The power play goal here.
I just put some money in my account. I need some live bets here. Something's got to change. I bet the over every freaking night too, and it hasn't hit in like every game I bet. I think if I bet the over, it loses. So.
Well, the game ones, Ray, the overs have been strong until this game, and this game is
exactly. Usually you get a kind of a wide open game, but
very tight, but good goaltending. There hasn't been a ton of penalty. Like this is only the Rangers' first power play right now, and it's the second period at the end of the second here.
Shesterkin is my background here.
There you go. Yeah, Igor. Yeah. Brick wall.
The fact they've been staying off the power play is huge. I mean, that's going to be a big deal.
Go like 20 minutes without a shot or something like that, 14 minutes?
They went a long fucking time.
Well, that's
time. Yeah, they did, the Rangers.
That's been pretty typical for them in these playoffs, though. If you watch their games, they're pretty content to give the other team the puck and let them play with it. You know, that's what they did throughout the Kane series anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work out with this with this Panthers team long term. You know, they're going to have to employ a different strategy because, I mean, they're kind of lucky that they've only got one goal given up. Good a goalie as Shesty is. I don't think that strategy is going to work long term.
No, it's already tough enough to beat that guy. As Ray says, he's looking like the image you see in the background there behind him. That's the way he's playing right now in net. But third period, I don't know what more to look at. I don't trust a live over right now. Both teams to score. I took a shot with that in the second period. Didn't go well. Unless you have faith in the Rangers, you could go with a live draw or a live, plus 250. You could go if you think they have momentum. You could take them next goal. But the draw is plus 250. The live money line is plus 265. So those are options if you think the Rangers are still very live in this. To be honest with you, they haven't played good at all. To be honest, they haven't generated.
If Florida plays like this, they're going to win the series. It's just the long game, right? But I mean,
yeah. But they're only down by one. All it takes is one,
right?
Bit of puck.
That's really good news. If you play like that and you're down by one, you're okay.
Yeah, that's what happens when you got Durkin.
One way to look at it. Yeah.
You can't really. It seems like game one, the team's game one at home here. Haven't been great in the playoffs.
Florida lost game one to Boston in the first round, in the last round. Yep.
Home teams in general have not been good in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Home ice doesn't really mean
Minnesota.
Yeah.
I just saw on Twitter right now that the roof is leaking at Target Center.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, where the Timberwolves game is. Oh my God. What is it with their stadiums? Could you not get some proper plumbing in and fucking,
Well, that place was built like a shithole in 1989, and then they just renovated it maybe 5.
The Vikings had shit too with the Metrodome.
Oh, that Metrodome, yeah, with that fucking roof, and then it collapsed, and then they built it up again just to knock it down and put a whole new stadium there. Yeah, and now they want taxpayer money to rebuild 20-year-old Xcel Energy Center, 24-year-old, 25-year-old Xcel Energy Center. After every other stadium's been built in the last 10 years. It's insane. But there's a leak in the roof somewhere. I don't know, and it's clearly not affecting the court, but it's somewhere in the stands. But there are people who are reporting of being, leaking, seeing falling water. Can't make that out.
Yeah, a lot of people.
No, go ahead, Ray.
No, go ahead. I'm just BSing, so it sounds important.
Well, I'll be brief. Yeah, a lot of people betting the Rangers tonight. They talked about all that value. Underdogs literally the entirety of the last series, and I get it. But road teams have been value the entirety of the playoffs. I mean, if you look at you can just look at it.
I find for years it's been that way. No, I found for years it's been that way. I can go back. I don't even have to look it up. I don't have to look at a log and a history of every Stanley Cup playoff bet I've made the last 5 years to know I've been on more road teams than home teams. No question about it. For that very reason. Yeah.
So in this series, I favored the Panthers. I already bet them in the long term. I think this series does get extended. But I don't want a piece of the Rangers at home. Give me the team that I favor in the series when I can get them at a minus 110, and I'll take them every time.
And Florida, great road team. Florida and Dallas.
Great road team.
You know why? I think both of them could. I still think that's the Stanley Cup final. Florida and Dallas, that they can win on the road, and they're phenomenal on the road. Both of them. Panthers and Stars, like they're 1A, 1B as far as road record and road performance in the NHL this year.
Mm-hmm. You know what may not
now,
be a bad
Ray is a Michigan guy, by the way, like you. I should point that out.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Gaucho. He's a Michigan guy as well. Yeah.
Oh, no way. Where at?
I'm in southeastern Michigan. I was born downriver. I'm
okay.
I'm in Lenawee County now, about an hour from the city.
I lived in Kalamazoo for a couple of years, so.
Oh yeah, I get out to Kalamazoo all the time. At least half a dozen times a year.
Played for Kalamazoo Wings there for a couple of years too, Ray. ECHL.
Oh, no kidding.
Love to hear that. Hell yeah.
But
That's awesome.
I'm way up north now, up in Houghton, so I'm like 8 hours from you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Houghton's a great area. Yeah. My grandmother lived there for a few years.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been up there a bunch of times. Oh yeah.
That's where Ray is starting his hockey clinics there, because they need places where you can get training and instruction, right? That's the whole purpose of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My youngest sister is getting married into this month, so we'll be up to Frankfurt. I don't know if you've been up there. That's
my aunt got married in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
You know what I might take though? Speaking of bets, is Florida minus 1.5 at plus 140. Empty net goal. If it stays
you're 100% right about that, Ray. I mean, obviously, if it stays 1-0, they're going to be live to get the empty netter, and you get plus 140 on that. Or you could do Panthers team total in the third period. What's that, by the way? I actually am kind of interested in that. Oh, it's 2.5.
Yeah.
So they need 2 goals. That's plus 150.
And what they're essentially saying is they want to escape this.
Goose, we can hear your television.
Sorry, I'll turn it down a little bit.
It's like, holy shit. Yeah, I can tell right away. It's like, holy fuck. I mean, I can hear someone on the Hockey Night in Canada panel talking right there. How many hours a day on that? No, it's all good. But how many hours a day, Ray, are you putting in right now for this stuff?
It just depends on the day. Today, I didn't have a ton of opportunity to work. I try to do, at least 4 to 5. Some days, like right away at the start, I probably was doing 10 to 12s, but I'm probably 400 or 500 hours into this thing. If I had to come up with, in 3 months, I don't know, maybe that's a little.
You're right. That's just 3 months, because you just, officially made it official with the retirement announcement. So basically, since that day, you've been like pedal to the metal with this.
Yeah, trying to get it right. And, now it's like filling up, but now like I have to get rosters out, waiver forms. That's what I'm dealing with right now is rosters.
Yeah.
It's just something like every day. Like I went to use DocuSign the other day, and they wanted $1,700 to send out waiver forms to all my clients. And I'm like, no. I'm not using you guys.
I've tried that too. I did the free trial. I'm not subscribing to them. I mean, it's a very nice tool they have, but it's just not worth the money. Not for that.
Right.
No.
Yeah, for the small clients I was trying to send to.
Yeah.
Just to pause for a second, Goose. I don't mean to interrupt you, but Artemi Panarin. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the points. I thought I was looking at the shots. Never mind.
We did have Lafreniere over a half a point before the game, but I mean, he had a couple chances actually.
Yeah, his family and friends are in attendance. That's why I took him as the bargain bin special on the show today. Him to score at plus 310.
Yep. Hey, that's Curtis, why I looked. I see your. Sorry to cut you off. I see your comment, Curtis Meldrum. What did you use? Yeah.
70,000.
Wow.
It was insane.
Corporate, yeah.
Yeah.
Curious what he uses.
That
go
away.
Go in the chat. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, help Ray out. He's a small business owner here. He's trying to get,
small clueless business owner.
Reminds me of me when I started in this business like 14 years ago. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing initially. And there was a lot of shit.
That's what I was thinking. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Matt says hello sign has worked well in the past. Just not sure of their cost though. Yeah.
Willing to pay. I just don't know what it's gonna. I just don't want to pay $1,700.
No, definitely not. Especially if they've got you paying by the amounts, right? Like if it's a one-time bulk fee, okay, fine. Then I might be able to make it work. But if the more you're sending out, the more they want.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's killer. Like if you're a bit like my former insurance agent, he used DocuSign. So everything he sent us was DocuSign, right? So whatever, here, boom, 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 send it back to him. He's the one incurring the cost. Well, I probably was too at that point, but yeah, like $1,700 for a small business. How do you justify that? You sure as shit can't do that.
Right, for one form.
Right. That's not going to work. No, exactly.
But I'll justify myself throwing $100 on a stupid bet. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
Well, as long as it's the right.
You're cut from our cloth, Ray. It's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
But that's not business money either, going on bets. So
yeah, just make sure that the money you've invested.
Yeah, that account is
going into the
not linked to
betting
my DraftKings. That's for sure.
No, that's it.
So if I can, because we're in the middle of the period, or we're in the period break here, if I can answer your question from earlier, Ian, I'd love to.
Oh yeah, Berube. Yeah, head
Yep.
coach. Yep. Thoughts?
I like the hire because I think he's going to be a good culture change coach.
Yeah.
There's definitely, there needs to be a thought process change within this team. That's for sure. Keefe, and everybody says it, Keefe is a great coach, and he was. But let's be honest, with that lineup, anybody in this group could have had a winning record. Like, it's not
Especially
that
in the regular
hard.
season. Yeah.
Especially in the regular season. That's not hard.
No.
I think he said it, I watched all the press conference. He's a motivator. He's not an X's and O's guys. But if you talk, everybody I hear talk about him, they all say the same thing. He's great at X's and O's. He knows the strategy. He knows the thought process within the game. But he relies on his assistant coaches for the X's and O's, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
No.
Somebody's got to get more out of these players. We've been saying that for years. I've been saying that for 5 years now, 6 years now. First couple of years, I thought it looked good. And then it's like, well, no, come on now. So I like the hire. 4 years. I haven't heard a dollar amount yet, probably 3.5 or 4. So good on you. I like the hire. It was either him or Quenneville for me, to be honest. I didn't really see another good candidate. I didn't like McClellan because I didn't, even his years in San Jose, again, with that lineup, any one of us could have probably got that team into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. He had a decent lineup. So I've never been big on Todd McClellan. So, but I like Berube. I'm curious to see, depending on what website you look at or what insider you want to read. I've seen 3 articles that says Marner's been talked to and they're talking about trades, they're doing this, they're doing that. 2 other articles that say they haven't talked to Marner at all. So who knows? But if Berube can get more out of him in the playoffs, then okay, fine. I might be tempted to say yes, give him the money. But same thing as last year. You can't invest half your payroll in 5 guys. It doesn't work.
Yep. That's
right?
exactly, and that's exactly why it's great. They needed a different head coach in there. Yep. I agree with that. It was time for a new voice.
Different voice.
Only half the battle. That's only half the battle. There's got to be some kind of roster shakeup. Someone's got to be jettisoned out.
For me, those guys are media signings. Like you look at teams that win in not as high media markets, they're deep, they're depth. That's who wins in the playoffs. Those guys aren't going to win.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't pay those guys. You can get a third line for Marner's money or a fourth line, for Marner's money and get the same amount of production as he gives in the playoffs. It's not.
That's where the mistake was made, Ray. 100%.
No, for sure.
Allocating that much of your cap to 4 guys. That's where the mistake was made.
Right. In the regular season, it's great. It's the Russian.
It looks
4,
nice, right? It looks good, right? It really does. But I've heard a couple guys say it. Right? Like, how do you replace 100 points? You don't have to replace 100 points. You don't. The objective, if you're going to trade Marner, and I was having this conversation with Perlo the other night. If we're going to trade Marner, trade him for what you need. So a goaltender, if you can get a defenseman, fantastic. I said this to Perlo. Well, this is true, right? I honestly think Pesce will probably get an offer from Toronto, whether or not he signs it. I think that's going to be one of their targets for the off season. My thing is, if you can get Marner, if all the parties would say yes today, I would trade Marner to the Predators for Saros and like maybe a pick, a prospect, or a player, lower player. I would make that deal today in a heartbeat to get a number 1 goalie.
No,
I would be fine with that. Right? Everybody's gonna say, "Well, you're gonna lose." Go ahead.
How about to the Bruins for Allmark? In 2 pieces.
Nope.
And you wouldn't take Allmark?
Nope.
Well,
nope. I don't like. I can get 60 games out of Saros. I don't think I can get more than 50 out of Allmark.
Yeah, but either way, like with those 3, they're still going to make the playoffs.
True enough, but I'm looking at now, and I don't want to just make the playoffs anymore, Ray. I'm tired of just making the fucking playoffs. I want to
Well,
win
that's
around.
how they build that team, though. You know what I mean?
Well, I
So
realize that.
it's-
But we need a number one goaltender and we need a defenseman. Those to me are the first two items on my shopping list: goaltender, defenseman. So, like I say, if I was running the team and I could phone Nashville and say, "Hey, I'll give you Marner, you give me Saros," and if they said yes, I'd make the deal in a heartbeat. See you later, bye.
But the worst thing
Right?
you can do is try and play Saros 60 games as he comes in. You got to make him one B guy.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I don't trust if I get Allmark, then I have to play Wool 30 to 40 games.
You got to do that either way.
Do that
you got to do that either way.
Well, I think I can squeeze 55. I think I can squeeze 55 out of.
Look at how many games and how many minutes Saros has already played.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, but he doesn't seem. Again, if you have a good number or a good 1A, good number 2 behind him, whatever, take your pick on the language.
Yeah.
Then he can get his rest in the second half of the season. That's the problem. Nashville's always had to run him into the ground to make the playoffs.
Right.
And that's the issue, right? So if you can spell him off in the right ways, Allmark, I think Allmark is not as durable as Saros.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I think Saros is the better option, but you got to treat Saros the same way you treat Allmark. And only.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood you, Alex. Sorry, my bad.
No.
Yeah.
No, I agree with the option, and also you don't want to trade Marner in your division and have him kill you in your division.
No,
get him the hell out. Get him in the other. Yeah. So no, I agree. Right. I agree with the location. I agree with the comeback, but you can't automatically say, "Oh, now we're going to play Saros 60 games." If they do that,
no. Because my general hope is that Wool
he'd
comes
probably
back
get hurt there anyways. Any goalies.
Or something.
That's all you
Ray,
need
you went there, really? Jesus, Ray. So anyway, so I like the hiring of Berube.
Science. You get traded to Toronto, you fucking get hurt.
That's true.
Well, that you get traded out of Toronto and you win.
Impacts, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I like the moves. Now let's see what Tree Living can do with the lineup.
How many Leaf fans right now are thinking, watch Sheldon Keefe win more rounds in the playoffs, moving forward than our coach does? Yeah. They're already starting to think that.
I got no fear of that until they get themselves a goaltender.
Yeah, that's true. New Jersey.
I go after John Gibson. You trade him to Anaheim. You go after John Gibson, and then you get a really good D in Michikov, or the young guy there, Michikov.
No, you're on the right path with him. Yeah.
And
I don't know about Gibson being the answer though. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think Gibson's been running into the ground.
I'd go after Dostal. Dostal's the guy
Dostal
going
would be
from Anaheim.
Yeah. Moving Dostal.
Yeah.
There's no
right,
fucking
but that's
way
the
they're
thing.
moving. They will move Gibson
but,
in that contract and for
he's
something.
30s. He's getting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing with Saros, right?
Some desperate team. I still believe we could see a goalie for goalie swap with Gibson and Bennington.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
I think St. Louis. St. Louis would have to get something else in return as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But that would definitely have to be a dollar in, dollar out trade there because St. Louis is so close to the cap as well, right? So
yeah.
So
I just saw where game one of the Stanley Cup Finals has been announced. And it was on my birthday. Game one of the Stanley Cup Final will be June 8th.
Nice.
Yeah. Not really thrilled about that date choice, but.
Oh well, look at it this way. I will live forever for a Stanley Cup victory by the Leafs on my birthday. So that means they got to go Game 7 all the way through, and then June 22nd. That's mine. So that's always my hope.
I hope you're willing to live to 200.
Hey, I'm 55 and I wasn't planning on making 30, Ray. So I'm doing something fucking right.
We've heard Goose's life stories when he was young. Believe me, he's right when he said that. There was a time that he was living the kind of life we didn't know he'd probably see this age at this.
I was the sex and drugs and rock and roll, but I wasn't singing it. I was dancing to it.
That's a good one.
That is, yeah. So just for some recreational small action, don't go big on this. I did grab a little Chris Kreider plus 550 live goal
in
scorer.
the third.
Because he's the kind of guy down by 1. Look at Carolina. He put them on their back in the third period. He put the team on his back, I should say, in the third period.
Okay, I like that.
No, Chris Kreider plus 550 live goal scorer. Nothing yet, though, as far as anything besides that.
I've seen a lot of the highlights. It looks like Florida's defense is playing a little loose tonight. Am I wrong in that?
Early they did, but the thing is, the Rangers are not capitalizing, and they're
I
not.
think
that as much. Yeah,
Florida's D play so much on their toes. That's just kind of how they play it. Like they're willing to jump into play at any cost, and I think they're going to utilize. They can expose New York's ability to back check and stay with their guys too. I think Rangers have really good D, and their forwards can be a little bit lazy sometimes, especially with the firepower that they have up front. Those guys can tend to glide in their back check. So I think that's going to be their plan is play with 5 up ice and try to utilize that.
Okay.
It's a good observation. Yeah. You can tell this guy is a hockey savant now that he's retired. Like that's some great observational insight right there. Like that is, yeah. Speaking of now that you're you're busy with the business, don't get me wrong, but how much hockey, Ray, are you getting to watch these days?
Well, if it's on ESPN Plus or TNT, I can watch it, but I don't have a cable thing, so I can't watch on ESPN. So the game is on ESPN Plus tonight, which is a bonus for me. I try to watch as much as I can. I still enjoy watching it. I skated for the first time the other week too, just recreationally. It was pretty fun. So,
shit, must be nice, Ray. I haven't put a set of blades on my feet now in 2 fucking years.
Former referee, of course. Yeah.
Well, I still got meniscus issues now in my knee. So skating in any way, shape, or form is just painful.
I got shit going on in my knee that I got to get looked at after the end of the year. So.
The physical debilitation Alex has suffered at his age is not right. It's not right for someone to go through some of the physical debilitation he's had over the years, because I've known him for 10 years, and it's unbelievable how much he's reported back to me with, this is bothering me, that's bothering me.
Some of it's hereditary, and some of it's my lifestyle choices as well. So
yeah,
and a little bit of bad luck. Some of it's got to be a little bad luck too. Yeah.
Well, like I said, like 50 years of hockey, skating, baseball, a little bit of football, right? And my hips and my knees and my shoulders, everything gave out this year. Like it just all went to rat shit real quick. I couldn't believe how quickly it's gone. So, excuse me. I think I'm done refereeing, to be honest. I think I'm done putting on the pads and going out and
hanging up
using
the
my body. No, you know what? I still want to get out public skating. That's the one thing. Yeah, I'll still get out and do some public skating just to keep it moving, right? But I don't know. I'm 30. What did I tell you guys? 37, 38, 37 years of being called a fucking asshole. I'm pretty sure that's enough.
Hey, it's better than. I'd rather be an asshole than a dumbass.
Well, you know what? I got Ray. I used to
have thick skin if you're going to be in a ref.
I tell the boys, Ray, I grew up in a small town. I refereed in that small town for the first 15 years. My old man grew up in the town. Everybody knew us. Like everybody. So like, York, you're a fucking asshole. That's all I heard for fucking 15 years. Out of people that I'd see them in the hallway and hey, good game, Tim. Go fuck yourself. You called me an asshole for 20 minutes. Like, piss off. So, but yeah, I always used to tell the young kids, man, if you're going to become a referee, you better have a thick fucking skin.
Yep.
You better be able to take abuse, because that's what you're going to get.
It's a thankless job, and it's fuck yeah. Parents are ruining the game too, like in that aspect. I'd never tell my kid to fucking be a ref, because they just like players make a mistake that are 14 in the game. The ref is 2 years older, and the parents are expecting them to be NHL refs. Like, I used to ref beer league, and these guys would bitch at me, and I'd tell them, like, if you want a better ref, go play in a better league. Shut up.
I always used to say, they'd always say, well, you're a piss poor ref. And I say, well, you're a piss poor hockey player. You get better, I'll get better. And they would just
we'll both get better at the same time. How about that,
like,
man?
Yeah. Here, you
they would start fighting.
I'll start refereeing better hockey for you. Like, piss off, you fucking useless piece of shit.
They would start fighting in beer league, and I'd say, I don't get paid enough to
I don't get paid
in the
for
face
that.
on accident. I'll let you two beat the shit out of each other. I don't care.
Yeah, stand back.
You got to tell these players you're lucky you even have a referee available to referee your fucking game. So shut the fuck.
I am lucky though, Ray. There's a league out here called the Rocky Mountain Petroleum Hockey League, RMPHL. 3/4 of the guys are major junior A players or better. Like there's 5, 6 semi-pros, right? 4 or 5 ex-pros, a couple guys from out of Columbus, a couple guys from Calgary, actually. So it's good hockey, right? So you better be on your ball. You got to have your A game with those guys. But just the beer league on Sunday night, piss off. Oh, I missed a call. Oh.
No. Bully for you, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, bully for you. I'm only getting paid $55. Piss off. So, but
Cheshire Cat's a fan of Goose. Look at this. I want to be a fly on the wall in Goose's truck, says Cheshire Cat. I need to be in Goose's car. There we go.
You would have loved the time on the road. The one other thing I tell the boys, Ray, is I've been a Leaf fan for all my life, right? Yeah. From the time I was 2 years old. That's the way it is. I learned how to swear watching Leaf games with my old man. And the first phrase I ever learned was, "You dumb, stupid prick cocksucker." He said that 5 times a Leaf game. Never failed.
Well, that's back in the 70s. Wasn't that back when
that was the Happy Harold days, and that's exactly who he was always yelling at.
Yeah.
Oh, and not that I knew him or nothing, but did we all see that Ron Ellis passed away this week?
Yes, that's sad news. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, every time you lose someone from that 67 Stanley Cup winning team, it's
and it's not only that, it's any of the players from that era.
Yeah.
Like anybody that played in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, mid 70s, right? You lose those guys and you're like, fuck, those are some good hockey players.
It's kind of comparable, maybe a little bit dark, but it's kind of comparable as like all these World War II vets are dying off just in time for World War III to start, so.
Wow, that's dark.
Well, it's actually not even a good comparison because Ron Ellis isn't dying because the Leafs are right around the corner from winning. So, that's different. That's the difference. World War III is around the corner. I truly believe that. The Leafs winning a cup, not so sure.
We're probably closer to World War III than the Leafs.
Then we are the Leafs winning the cup.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
But we're also, we're like probably closer to World War III than like you could pick any one of these 4 teams to win the cup, and we're probably closer to World War III than that. So.
It's funny, Goose. I learned all them words back in the 90s when the Wings were still winning. I mean, imagine if my grandfather would have been around now. I'd probably learn all kinds of new words.
My granddad passed in my dad's dad passed in 88, I guess. Yeah, 88. He was a Leaf fan all his life. My dad passed away almost 9 years ago now. My dad would be losing his mind at this team. The last 5 years, it would drive him up the wall. Like it really would, especially, and even more so the Jays. Like Dad was a baseball guy before he was a hockey guy, but he played both, right? So, but the Jays were him and Grandpa's thing. Every year they'd go down to Toronto for the season opener. They sat in the snow in 76 or 77, old Exhibition Stadium, froze their bag off to watch opening day baseball.
Yep.
But same thing with the Jays. He'd be losing his mind now. He just drove him batty to see what he always termed simple mistakes, and he hated simple mistakes. Right? He just hated it. So,
simple mistakes would make him the most angry. Yeah.
I don't have family history with hockey. Like I became the hockey fan and taught everyone else in my family, and they kind of learned from me, like with my parents. But I just think about it. If my dad had been around these last couple of years, trying to explain to him that the Hawks are tanking to get the number 1 player would have been just like, and I would have had to explain that multiple times throughout the year. So he would not have been able to wrap his head around that. So
no.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here? Have they even made it harder, Bobrovsky, today?
Well, so far in the third, they have not. Florida's, they're still only
What
on
do they got
14
on?
shots for the game. Florida's just playing solid,
that's
keeping everything to the outside. Bobrovsky's not faced a 10-bell chance in a very, very long time in this game. Yep.
What do we got? 13 minutes left.
Yep.
Well, I must admit. Go ahead.
Do we look towards an overtime here? Maybe.
Possibly.
I took the draw.
Well, you know what, Bray? I'm going to look at either the draw at some point, but I'm also going to look at like a Florida over 1.5 or that puck line at some point as well. And just let's put one last bet in that it doesn't end 1-0. It's either going to be 1-1 or it's going to be 2-0. That's going to be my thought process. We'll get both at plus money. So that's what I'm aiming to do. Not now. I'm waiting for the prices to get better.
I must admit, it's probably one of the few games where I didn't look at the shutout odds.
Yeah,
at all.
I did not. No,
Right,
game one, with the way the game ones have been, not a chance. I was
exactly
in props.
No, exactly.
But we might get one tonight. You never know. There's still 12 minutes left. Lots of time.
Next team no goal is plus 390.
If you think it ends 1-0, yeah.
Yeah.
So right now plus 120 for Panthers puck line. Right at the moment.
Too, yeah.
See the 1.5's minus 240. Can't do anything.
I took them
with
at
that.
minus 140.
Yeah. The draw is plus 260. So if I'm going to take the
they-
draw at some point and Florida puck line at some point, it's just the thought process of let's just see this game not end 1-0. Essentially.
No, exactly.
We probably need to take the draw now at plus 260. That's only going to keep going down. The clock ticks.
No.
Yeah, that's true. Should get in on that now. I agree. Yep.
I feel like me taking Panthers puck Panthers money line and Kachuk first goal scorer is just kind of too good to be true. So I feel like I gotta look at something.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the little draw plus 260 now, and then close to that 4 or 5 minute mark, we'll be able to get puck line on Florida or team total over 1.5 on, assuming it's still 1-0 at the time. We'll get those at
Should be able to get a
prices.
plus money.
Yeah, that's the hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just get profit as long as it doesn't end 1-0. We either get the empty net goal from Florida or the tying goal from the Rangers. It's going to be profit.
Has anybody looked at the basketball game?
It is close. It's 83-82 Timberwolves going to the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
on the over and I'm on Dallas full game. Over's in good shape. I feel confident.
I grabbed some Dallas plus 7 live.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a good
nice.
job by Sammy mentioning that on the show. Sammy,
he'll be back in a bit.
Oh, he'll be back in a bit.
I grabbed them. I grabbed Dallas at plus 4.5. I heard a stat. So this one applies to all sports, but more to the baseball and the basketball. A team playing in a team playing in Denver and then coming home or going to another game in regular altitude. Usually they end up losing.
Yeah.
So with Minnesota having played in Denver 3 days ago, and now coming home or going to the next game, usually, especially in baseball, that last game when they move out, usually the team that's leaving Colorado ends up losing their next game.
We got it happening.
Oh,
we got it happening.
That's the goal. Is that Tarasenko?
Yeah. Just about to sprinkle that draw. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, is it Tarasenko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Tarasenko? Oh my God.
Oh, no, wait.
Goodness gracious.
Oh. No, I'm trying to see.
It should
I
be
did
caught
that.
back.
2-0
Panthers.
It might.
Who got the official goal?
I think that's clean. Looking at the replay.
That's 100% a goal.
Laviolette's thinking of challenging it. It looks
I think
like.
he is.
No, he shouldn't.
I think
he
it'd be
shouldn't.
a mistake.
It's clearly obvious that it was the Ranger player pushed Lomberg.
You mean that?
I think it's Lamborghini. I think is going to get the
For
goal.
me, it's the same play with Coyle and Bennett.
Right.
Yeah.
If you call that a goal, this has to be a goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah.
It's the same play. There has to be consistency. If it's not, there's no consistency.
Yeah.
No, there we go.
Give me
They're
that
challenging.
Tarasenko goal plus 400.
So now here's the thing. So if they
Was he sharp?
reverse this goal, then that makes the previous goal, like we were just talking about, the Bennett goal from the previous series.
That's a reach to the challenge for Laviolette. I think that's a goal. He got pushed in by Lindgren.
So Lomberg went into the crease by himself, but the defenseman put him into the goalie. Lomberg doesn't touch it. So whoever shot it.
Next goal scorer to be Florida, if it's not locked, next goal Florida, because they'll be on the power play.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good call, Ray. And that shouldn't be goaltender. That should be a good goal.
It looked like he got pushed.
Well, yeah, but Lomberg went in by himself, but then the defenseman put him into the goalie. So
Lomberg also never went in the crease when he steps outside
he did, Ray.
He is there, but now he's not. Where he touches him, he's not in the crease.
No. But Lomberg goes into the crease by himself, but it's the defenseman that puts Lomberg into the goalie. Yeah, exactly. So this should be a good goal.
And Ekman Larson is getting credit for it on NHL.com, not
Oliver Lawson Tossum.
Yeah, he's getting the credit of now.
Here we go. They're gonna wave this off.
No goal. Oh my god!
Wow!
No goal.
How the fuck?
Amazing! Wow! And the Rangers.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that
it's
at all.
Still 1-0 Panthers. Wow.
You know what? I'd be careful grabbing Florida next goal.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd be a little weary of that.
Yeah. Now
actually,
you can bet the draw.
I'd be all over a Rangers.
I would grab Rangers next goal and draw right now.
We just fucking said it days ago on this show. We've got to revamp goalie interference methodology and rules. Make it black and white. Make it crystal fucking clear, and then adhere to it. Adhere whatever the fuck it is you put in the rule book. Adhere to it.
It's subjective
done right now
to me.
Yeah,
there's no consistency in it. It's a subjective call, and
it is.
If you want to, make challenges objective as your goal, that's not what it's doing. It's the point of a challenge or a go to video is for objectivity, and it's subjective at that point.
Yeah, it is. Because one person doesn't think what another person does when they're looking at this shit. That's the problem we're in right now with this. And that's.
Yeah, the commentary that Ian and Alex provided on this the other day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just to a T. Perfect. I mean, just perfect. I mean, I have no idea what the hell would have called off that goal. I mean, it makes no sense.
It's.
Well, and it's like we just said. Like if you compare that to the Bennett goal from last series, that's the exact same fucking goal.
Right.
It's the exact same goal. And if anything, Bennett should have been called for interference because he put the guy out of the play.
Right.
Like
okay, so I could argue that the Bennett goal was even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Like there should have been a penalty on Bennett in that goal. Right. As soon as I saw that goal as a referee, I'm like, I would have called I would have called Bennett for the interference automatically. I would have got booed off the ice, but I would have made the call. Right. And then you see this.
Apparently, and they showed the replay again. There was the slightest bit of skate contact of Lomberg to Shesterkin before the push. Is that what they deem?
But my argument would be the defenseman put him into the goalie, causing that contact.
Yeah,
that's not his fault.
Yeah.
It's not. So
well said, Goose. Yeah.
Right, and this is what I don't understand.
Yeah,
because so in my years of refereeing, I actually did OHA and OHL for a couple of years.
Yeah.
The camp I went to was run by the gentleman who now is the head of officiating for the NHL. Steve, I can't think of his last name. Anyway, all of the teaching aids that they showed us on video was all the stuff that they showed the NHL refs.
Yeah.
Here, this is what we use. This is right. This is how we determine this call, so on and so forth. And it was, you see what they see, and you get told what they're doing, and then you see them 5 games later, and you're like, well, what the fuck are you calling? Because you've told us this is what you should be doing here, and yet you're doing the exact opposite. So I don't know. It's murky as fuck some days. It really is, because
there's no consistency.
No, and the NHL is no different. Like the OHA and the OHL, we would have a supervisor come in halfway, through the period. He'd come in at the end of the period and go, okay, so you called a lot of this period. Let it go, right? Next period, call this instead. And you're like, well, fuck, I've set a benchmark, right? I've called this and this. I'm going to continue to call it. That's why I didn't last long in the OHA and the OHL, because it was like, if I call a penalty in the third, in the
Penalty
first,
Rangers.
it's a penalty in the third. That's just the way it is. And they just, oh, that's a good hook.
Yeah, that's Lafreniere.
I don't know why they're booing.
Yeah.
Like shit.
Now if you think Florida,
Now you might want to
What do
grab
you
that.
expect out of these
fuck
fucking
them, now's
Yankees?
the time to do that.
Yeah.
God damn it, man. Yeah, that's pretty frustrating from a betting perspective.
Yeah, right.
I had Tarasenko over 1.5 shots on goal, and I sprinkled his goal at plus 400. So that one's pretty tough to see that one called back.
I think Ekman Larson was going to.
Oh
get
yeah,
the goal,
I jumped the gun. I thought I saw Tarasenko get the shot with the rewrite. So.
Okay.
Ekman Larson with the shot. It was Lomberg that we thought deflected it in, but as a result, no goal.
Okay.
So Panthers team total for the third period is minus 150 right now. So I'm looking to get that at a plus price at some point, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's
probably
the
good look.
strategy here.
Yeah.
Draw plus 250, take the Panthers team total over at a plus price, and then we're in a spot where if one of them hits, if either Rangers score or Panthers score late, we're going to profit. Just don't end 1-0.
Yeah.
I'll be happy. That's the goal.
Yeah, I like that, Ian. Yeah.
I mean, that's the best we can do for this situation right now, because clearly I didn't want to do much with the over. It's just one of those games where it's just, it's going to be either 1-1 or 2-1 or 1-0 or 2-0. That's what it's going to be.
Got Minnesota up by 5 with 10 minutes left.
Yeah, it's 89-84 Timberwolves. Yeah, fourth quarter. Yeah.
But yeah,
that one's frustrating on multiple levels because that would have put the game away, as a Panthers backer.
Absolutely.
I would have liked to see that one. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough there.
I've always said, and I know Ian said the same thing. It's if you're gonna call a goal back, I don't mind when you call them back, but fucking get it right. Like shit, they show the war room. They've got to have 15 different fucking camera angles there. And I think us as fans, well, yeah, and I think us as fans would if I said they only got 3/4 of the calls right, would we agree on that? Max. So for every 4 that they look at again, they get 3 of them right. But that's only 75%.
Right.
Over a course of a year, regular season and playoffs, that you should be 95%. Yep. There's no way. And the discrepancy is what drives all of us.
Yeah.
Well, if you say 3 out of 4, everybody goes, "Well, they're only missing 1." Yeah, you're right. That's only 1. But there's 1,600 fucking hockey games in the season. Do the math. You multiply that up. All of a sudden, that's a lot of fucking missed calls. With your 12. What is it? 12 cameras in every arena minimum. That's a minimum for the NHL now.
No.
Right. So and it's not, and it's the discrepancy. Sorry.
Yeah. That changes seasons,
Yeah,
right. That's the difference right there.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I think what drives most of us batty, and actually I know it's what drives all of us batty. It's the discrepancy or the change that you called it one way one game. Now you're calling it a different way. Literally almost the exact same circumstance.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, shit. So I'm always curious I always like to see the email explanation that they send out.
Reinhardt was right on the doorstep, tipped it right into the netting, unfortunately. That's the kind of night it's been as far as offensive execution in and around the goal crease. Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, so good, though. Rangers.
I would expect to see the Rangers come out twice as hard like next game, right? Like second game at home. I would definitely expect to see a different tempo game coming out of them. It's not the tempo. Yeah, well, but it's not the tempo we're used to seeing out of them. Like to me, this is not a normal Rangers hockey game. Like not what we've been watching. in my opinion, anyway.
Rich is on the draws at +3. Well, it's I think that was earlier though. That was 1030. No, it's +300 right now. Wow, it's actually pretty good price. Oh, it is. Yeah, +300. You know why? Because Florida's on the power play. Yep.
Yeah, I like your little sticker there, Rich.
Yep.
No one likes us. We don't care. I love it.
See, Florida's penalty, Rangers penalty kill has been pretty solid here on this go around so far. Yep.
Yeah.
This is a must for the Rangers. Obviously, they got to kill this one off. Down 1-0 here with 20 seconds left in the period. Yeah, I mean, it seems like this over game. I'm probably going to end up on over in game 2. No, I won't like it as much as game 1. I thought, but
big hit.
It wouldn't surprise me to see.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Watch the guy in the backside. Watch the guy in the backside.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that Goose is seeing what I'm seeing now. Holy shit.
Wow.
Chances and chances for the Rangers just now after killing that penalty. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The thing is though, if Lafreniere coming out of the box would have headed straight to
off the pipe right after. Oh
if
my
Lafreniere
goodness.
would have headed to the backside post, he'd have got that puck. He would have had himself a goal. That's all he had to do was go right for that post, the backside post.
Bobrovsky made some kind of saves, and the defenseman dived in front of that puck in the crease area when it was there.
What do we got going on here? Something's going on.
Florida's got it.
Yeah, I want to see that one back.
Yeah.
That was really close.
What are they looking at? Yeah, the coaches got their hands up like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah.
Oh, and they've got some. What's happened here? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they've got him for too many men.
Too many men on the Rangers or on the
I think it's on the Panthers. Yeah. I think the call is too many men on the Panthers, but I think they got it wrong.
Yeah, saved by Bobrovsky. They showed the replay and he got the goal stick on it. What a stop!
Yeah.
He made. Oh my gosh, what a chance that was for the Rangers.
Oh. Wow. Okay, so what went on here? Yeah, if Lafreniere kept going, he would have had that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, there's way too many men on the ice there.
Ranger power play. Yep, too many men on Florida. Yep.
Huge.
And I've got draw plus 260. It's 250 right now, the live price. Yep.
I'm gonna go Rangers and score next goal plus 180.
There you go. Yep.
Well, while we're on the topic, get your draw and overtime goal scorer in.
It could be, yeah.
Because that's live now.
Yeah.
That's very live now.
And the building is, I can already hear the building faintly. The volume barely up on my television, but their MSG crowd's amping it up a little bit here. Wow, good stop again, Bobrovsky. Yep.
Thing is, though, they're not getting any.
No,
they're not getting any penetration.
No.
At all.
Even that Trocheck chance, it was a bad angle. It was, way off to the side there. Easy saved, quite honestly. Yep.
And again, compared to that one play or the one power play we saw last round, where it was 5 passes in 7 seconds and it was in the net.
Yep.
They're not. There's no crispness. There's no movement.
But Florida, to their credit, they know exactly where their passing lanes are. They're clogging up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all scouting. This is scouting the Ranger power play for like the 5 fucking off days you've had since the end of the Boston series. Yeah.
And see, I hate this. Okay, there it is loose now. Okay.
One thing about the Rangers is they use set plays on their power play quite a bit.
Yes, they do.
They do.
Way too telegraphed.
Yeah. And you can tell Florida's gone to school on that. With that coaching staff, with Paul Maurice, there's no doubt. Ten seconds left in the power play here.
This is a big kill by Florida. Kept it in.
Looking like they're going to survive it. Yep.
Oh. No. See, and then New York got a little antsy there.
Hey guys, I got to run, but good to have. Thanks for having me on, Ian. I appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
Ray.
I hope to jump on
we're,
soon again. I take care of some stuff here before I head
Nice to
back.
talk to you, Ray.
Good to see you,
Yeah.
Ray. We wish
Yeah,
you all
too.
the best, man.
Best of luck, man.
Anytime
Yeah,
you want to
for
join us,
Thank
just
you.
let me know.
Yeah, hopefully
Nice to meet
you guys doing one of these tomorrow night?
We will.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see you
Okay.
maybe
Hopefully
tomorrow
we can
night if
jump on
you're
then.
around. All right, man. We'll see you
All right.
tomorrow night.
Yeah. Take
Cheers,
care.
buddy.
See you,
Cheers.
Ray. One of our favorites right there, Ray Bryce. One of our absolute favorites. He's been
Like
on
that's
and
just
off
a
with us for a
bad.
few years now.
That's a bad angle by Trocheck.
He also said he might be on the Daily Show with us more often next year. Now that it's going to be his first full year post, hanging it up as far as playing is concerned. So
Nice.
yeah, we'll see more Ray Bryce. Give Matt Robinson a run for his money right now. I mean, Matt's spot is safe. Yep. Yeah.
God forbid it happens, but if it does, Sam Reinhart, he hasn't stepped up a whole lot. Give me a piece of him.
Sam loves playoff hockey.
Yeah,
he's built for it. That's for fucking sure.
He had a knack for scoring in overtime. He's the worst line, but give me a piece of him, 55-1. I'll take a bit of him because I could see it happening.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
If I would take anybody, Florida, it'd be Carter Verhaeghe. I mean, that guy is Mr.
Well, him too. I mean, his line's only 60-1, similar line. But yeah, that would be the next choice.
Yep.
I like Bennett because you almost got to figure if we do get to overtime, the goal that's going to win it isn't going to be pretty, right? It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be fucking down and dirty in the trenches. And Bennett's a boy.
That make me think Kreider for Rangers.
Yeah, Kreider as well. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to split it up, guys. Plus 110. Plus 110 for Florida, half a goal. Plus 110, third period. And then minus 1.5, plus 130 for Florida. So I'm on both of those for a split. And I'm already on the draw for the Rangers. So basically anything but 1-0, I'll be happy with this.
Where are we here?
1-0 would not be good.
Yep.
We got a 6-point spread. Dallas is up on Mini now.
Yep.
98-92, 6:40 left to go.
Yep. Still a long way to go, though, in that one.
Yeah. But still, that's huge. That's been a, 14, 15-point swing.
Yep. Yeah, Minnesota was leading. Yep.
That's serious. It'll be like that it'll be like that all series long.
Yeah. It's going to be a pretty competitive series, I would think, start to finish. Yep. All right, 4.5 minutes left here. 1-0 Panthers. Obviously, the over trifecta down in flames would be an understatement. Yep.
Well, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Even I didn't see that coming. My whole strategy. My whole strategy was under the first period, and then I would get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got on it. And what a weird game. What a weird game.
Weird, but it's really gotten exciting and entertaining here in the last few minutes for sure.
Yeah, it's gotten way better.
This is what you expect out of these sorts of teams.
Oh, there's
Holy shit! What the hell
Florida
was
goal.
that? Oh
Lafreniere with a big
that
giveaway.
was you talk about bizarre game. That's a fucking bizarre goal right there. I don't know what happened there, but it hit something and it just totally changed.
And there's your Verhaeghe goal.
It's Verhaeghe.
Holy shit!
You won't believe it.
Holy fucking shit!
Oh, it went off the Ranger. Went off the Ranger. It was off Gustafsson, the defenseman.
Was it off Gustafsson or off Lafreniere?
Lafreniere. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
Lafreniere just off his stick 5-hole.
That's a great.
Hey, there's my bargain bin. He scored for the fucking wrong team, though. That's my bargain bin. +3.
Who told me to take Verhaeghe? I took him lesser, but my God,
Alex said Verhaeghe.
Was ever?
Yeah.
Jesus, Alex. God damn, Alex! I owe you a fucking steak and a beer.
There's the live team total cashing for Florida, and puck line now which we've got. So.
Well, now in my over 2.5 on Florida is live because the Rangers will pull the goalie.
That's true, man.
Yep.
Florida could get to that free marker.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one Robinson begats another. What's up, Ryan? Yep.
What's up, boys?
How's it going?
How are you? You're going to Dallas too, right?
I'm waking up. I got a 5 a.m. flight, so I got to be
There
up
you
at
go.
3 a.m.
Jesus.
going to Dallas.
Robinson brothers in Dallas together. Look out.
Trouble.
Mayhem.
Yep.
Mayhem on the horizon. Yeah.
And Ian, I gotta say something in reference to something I mentioned today on the show. I talked about if you wanted to take a kind of bit of a bargain shot for Conn Smythe with Florida to go Bobrovsky. Those 16-1s probably aren't going to be around after this game now.
No, that's true.
No.
That was a good price for him. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I'm on fire with the bar. Lafreniere just scored. Look, he did. Beautiful redirection. Beautiful tip in. Beautiful.
Jeez.
So, for anybody that gives a shit, because my job takes me downtown Calgary literally three times a week, they have started the stakes and surveying for the new arena. They should be breaking ground right after the Stampede this year.
It's about damn time. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. 3.5 years of solid construction.
Broadcasters are sick of falling to their death and falling to their peril going up to that catwalk in the Saddle Dome there to get to the broadcast booth. Yep. Way high up. It's insanely high up in that.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
There and San Jose. I don't understand.
Yeah.
The press level seats in Calgary are gross. Like they are truly gross.
By the way, 3 minutes to go and already the net is empty for the New York Rangers. Shesterkin's been pulled, so extra attacker. Certainly a lot of opportunity and time for Matt Robinson to get his third Florida goal that he needs.
You would think so.
Yeah. Oh, what a chance. Oh, what a stop. Bobrovsky. Wow.
Oh.
Or maybe we get a New York goal and then a Florida goal 10 seconds later, and then New York pulls the goal again. All of a sudden, the over's live.
That would give you.
You're wishful thinking right now. What's that song? I'm the king of wishful thinking. Yeah.
A little 4-2 game over.
Yeah.
That would be the
That's a
most
big
wild
shot by
fight today.
Zadana, Judd.
Yeah. Bobrovsky's been good tonight. Let's not go overboard because he's not faced a shit ton of rubber tonight, but he's had to be good in this third period. He's made some good
when he has had some 10-bell shots on him, he's made some 10-bell saves, right? So this is the thing. He's made the saves that he's needed to make, which is what you want from your goaltender, right? That's all you really need. If you can get that, then you can win.
Goalie Bob's been good.
Yep.
Yeah, goalie Bob's been good enough. He's been very good.
Ian.
Yeah.
Send Perlo a link.
Perlo. Oh, I didn't hear from Perlo. He was out.
He just sent me
for the last little bit. Okay, here he is. There we go. All right. You know what we'll do? We'll stay on for the end of the NBA game too, because that one's almost over anyway.
I was going to say we're pretty much going to match up there. I've got 5.5 left in the NBA, I think.
No, it's actually close to 3 minutes left now.
Is it close to 3 now?
I got
a 1 point Minnesota lead, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going right down to the. That's why I said we'll stay on till the end of that game too.
4.5. That's all we need. 4.5. Actually, 4.
Yeah.
It can be 4 difference, and that's all that matters.
Jesus, thank you, Alex. Man, I put 10 on a couple goal scorers of my own, and I put 5 on Verhaeghe. That was good for over 300. So
nice.
Goodness gracious, man. I mean, I ain't kidding you when I say I owe you a steak.
Wow, that Luka 3 was nuts.
Bottle of whiskey.
Back to a 1-point game
Holy
on
shit.
my end.
Yep. Step back 3.
That was
That's
a step
typical
back
Luka.
in your face.
Yeah.
And that got me over his point total, 30.
There we go.
Plus
Sammy
money.
P is back for the finale here. 2-0 Panthers. 2 minutes to go, it looks like. Yep. Time
Shit,
to wait.
Sammy, you still got your shirt on, buddy.
Good. I need these Mavericks to cover.
I'm with you there. We need that. Yep.
Sammy, should I take him? Should I take him plus 2.5 at minus 110?
Nah.
Ooh.
I have plus 5 full game, and I know Sammy's got plus 7.5 in game.
Ooh, I got plus 4.5. So
What do you got, Matt?
Matt was talking about plus 2.5 live. Wasn't it?
No, that was
No,
Ryan.
I was.
That was
I've got-
okay. That was Ryan.
I've got plus I got plus 4.5 pregame,
Oh, that's
or
a
maybe
foul.
5.5,
How's that not
and
a
then
foul?
plus 7.5.
7.5.
Sam Bennett, empty net goal for Florida, 3-0.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, so that one's over.
Third goal.
How long has Ryan been in here? Just jump
Like
in
5
or-
minutes. 5 minutes, less than that.
All right, so I switched. I'm over on the NBA.
Yeah,
I've been paying attention
Sammy,
to
I
that.
got plus 5.5, plus 7.5.
All right.
Gaucho, I'm on your first 5 shots tomorrow on the Stars. First 5 shots.
First team to 5 shots. Yeah.
Yeah, just for fun. I got it like minus 110 or something. So I was like, screw it. I'll be there in person. Might as well.
Nice.
Well, it's news to me that I'm on the first 5 shots in that game. I don't think I am.
No, I am.
Okay, you are.
Let me guess, I'm ahead of everybody.
I don't think I am.
NBA game, too.
No, this. All right, I'm in fucking Minnesota, right? And it's like
Mavs are up.
2-18.
Mavs are up 2, baby. Mavs are up
Like,
104 to
let's go.
102.
149 left in the fourth quarter of that game. What the hell?
Let's go, Matt Rob.
What a three.
Dallas up
104
by
to
2.
102.
Oh,
I
big.
gotta get my shot glass
goaltending.
ready.
Yeah.
Calling that goaltending? No.
Yeah, better get it too.
What are they calling there?
I got to get another beer, but for this to happen, so I'll be right back. Yeah, I have 149.
Yeah,
left
I
in the
don't.
fourth quarter.
You know, just intuitively,
It's not
I haven't
149.
thought about it, but I don't hate. I don't hate Dallas first 5.
First to 5
I just-
shots? No.
I got it at minus 110, and I just think they'll, they're rested. Hopefully, they come out hot in the first 5-10 minutes and get some
Yeah.
shots. So I was like, screw it, I'll put a couple bucks on it. It was
No,
minus
I think they're
110.
better at blocking shots too. So
Yeah.
yeah. I
don't know, so-
don't hate it. I don't hate it. I pick them.
Just for, they were both minus 110. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So Towns is getting a foul for interference on a that wouldn't have went in. So I don't know what the hell they're looking at. The NBA is another one that kind of the officiating in the NBA mystifies me some days. Huh. Okay. So Dallas is still up by 2, 141 left to go.
Yep, they have possession now.
Yeah.
Oh, turnover.
So what was the call there, Ryan, on Towns? What did they call there?
I just saw. Let's see. See if I can find it. I have no clue. It just
Isn't it something about interference with a shot that's going to drop?
That's actually
Something
pretty
along-
good, Bailey. That's not bad. Highway bobbery, not bad. Pretty good. That's one of your best comments I've seen ever, honestly. Highway bobbery, very good. Yeah, he was great. Shout out Bobrovsky. It's official. 3-0.
Luka Doncic, big steal. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Now we're turning into a little mini NBA Betcast right here.
Luka Doncic stole the ball. Timeout, Mavs.
Yep.
Are you ahead of
Dallas,
me? You must
yeah.
be. You're ahead of me,
You're
aren't you?
ahead. You're ahead for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
got
watching.
I'm at 123.
I'm not
I
even
got-
watching the game. I'm watching on DraftKings.
Oh, okay. I got it at 1. I'm 103 left
I'm
to
just
go.
not one.
Yeah, 103. I'm where Goose is. 103 left. Yeah.
So you guys in Canada are faster than us here.
Isn't that
That's insane.
truly
And I'm
utterly
literally 30 minutes away from where this game's being played.
Yeah. Isn't that fucked? That is. To me, that's insane. That's ridiculous.
That is, yeah.
Sure,
You should.
it works out that way. Yeah. Perlo, the game's over, but welcome in.
Yeah, I thought I'd come in. I didn't know you guys were on tonight.
Tonight and tomorrow.
Busy
Yeah.
with tonight and
Promoted
tomorrow.
it on Twitter. Yeah. We talked about it on the show.
Oh, yeah. I've been
Tomorrow
busy.
we're on too. Patreon only tomorrow. Yep.
I'm going to tell everybody to go to hell and leave me alone so I can get notified on this stuff. So
We try to get it out there on the Ice Guys Twitter. Always have, you know what you can do, Perlo? Get the Ice Guys Twitter. Get notifications turned on.
Yeah.
That will help you out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got both of you guys notifications, but
Yep.
I'll
The
get-
Ice Guys
I'll
too.
switch
Yep.
over to that.
Yep. Yeah, because I usually post it from there, and then I'll do a personal tweet with the same thing.
So
That's
you're on
usually the way
tomorrow
I do
night
it.
too then. Okay.
Patreon tomorrow night only.
Yeah, Patreon tomorrow night for the West Final.
Well, this was the whole everybody. Okay.
No Robinsons because they'll be in Dallas.
I might try and join while I'm having a beer in the
there
AC
you go.
or
And
something.
Matt's going to try to pop on for like a couple seconds just to say hello.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same.
Yeah.
Hey, are we going to look for a cousin Cletus sighting tomorrow night in Dallas?
Glass Banger should be there. That guy.
Luca points.
Yeah. Yeah, Luca's point prop. He's gone over. Yeah. What a finish we're going to have here. It's a 2-point Dallas lead. Dallas has the ball with a minute left.
Missed a shot. Towns missed a shot. Rebound, Luca.
I think I'm ahead
No
of
OT.
Ryan. Sure. Yeah.
There you go.
No
Dallas
OT.
up by 4.
Yeah.
Dallas up by 4-20.
I had nothing on that game. I wanted to see what they were going to do. I didn't take anything on.
Another one of those little mid-range step-back jimmies from Luca just now. Yep.
I thought you and me talked
How
about
many
this one,
got?
Perlo.
What's that?
I thought you and me talked about this.
Well, what?
About the NBA game. I thought we were both looking at Dallas.
Well, I was looking towards it, but the more I looked deeper into it, I was just I kind of wanted to just see what they're both going to be like in the first game and kind of move
Gotcha.
from there. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's kind of hard to say.
That was a silky step-back mid-range jimmy that Luca hit just now to make it 106, 102. I mean, it's just,
This should be
great
it.
deal. Yeah.
How much
We're
time?
definitely gonna. The plus 4.5 is definitely gonna work. I almost pulled the trigger on the money line. I couldn't get there though.
How good's this fucking PJ Washington been for Dallas?
Very
too?
good.
He's been unbelievable in these playoffs. Like, he's hitting big shots. The perimeter shooting has been on point. Defense and rebounding, he's brought some of that for Dallas. So I'm impressed with his game.
Yeah, he showed up in my little bit of look ahead. He comes in as their fourth man, essentially in their offense. So if you're playing the top 3 for the Dallas Hard, he's going to get more looks, he's going to get more shots, and he's going to get more points. So he's definitely a point prop or a prop guy to look at going forward in the series.
That's funny you say that. Someone energized saying some girl on Twitter needs Kyrie for 30 points for 40,000. He has 24. He had 24 at the half. He's stuck at 28 now. And he literally just missed a hook shot, which would have put the game away for Dallas. So he might end at 28. Oh, my God. And that would have gotten him to 30. Oh,
Wouldn't that make you sick?
That's sick. If he ends at 28 and misses that, what I just saw, it was a hook shot that he'd make him sleep.
Especially if he
out of 10. Yeah.
Especially if he puts in 24 in the first half, you're thinking like 6 points in the second half.
Yeah.
Like that he should be able to do that in his sleep, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is part of the
17.
NBA that it's very tough for me to wrap my arms around it. A million fucking timeouts in the final 20 seconds of a close game.
Yep.
That's just my goodness. Yeah. There's they're showing the inside the NBA guys promoting it, obviously post game after the game because it's TNT.
Are they
game.
outside or are they inside the building?
No, they're in the arena. They're in the arena.
I would say they're in the it looks like they're in the arena.
Oh, Draymond's with them too. So it's Draymond, Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck, and
were you getting rain today, Perlo?
Oh yeah, rain all
Oh
day.
yeah. Alberta was a wet place today. That's for fucking sure.
It's been a wet place for a week now.
Not here.
Oh,
sunny and I can't say it's been the same here. So I don't envy you guys. It's been sunny. It's been hot as fuck here though. Yeah.
Fuck, I would take the sunny and the hot right now.
We had a bad storm last night. My power was out for about 45 minutes at one point in the evening.
No shit. Eh?
Matt's Wi-Fi was down for like 2 days.
That was
Ian.
That was due to
do you have
building a neighborhood behind.
Oh yeah. Shit.
Are you going to the Canadian Open next weekend, Ian? By any chance?
I always go for one round.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Hamilton Golf and Country Club. Got to go.
Yeah.
Woods,
I haven't been there. I played there back in 93, 92.
Yeah, we went the last time it was here. And yeah, it's great experience. You just frolic around the course. You go from hole to hole, and it's just
I haven't played there. Like when I played, it was still the old course. So I'm sure if I set foot on it now, I probably wouldn't recognize half the holes.
Oh yeah, they've revamped the design of the course a little bit. Yeah. All right.
I'll tell you though, I was watching the when I was watching the Open the PGA last weekend. They were showing 2029, I think, is going to be in San Fran. Yeah, kind of got that marked on my calendar.
The Olympic Club. I think it's been there before once.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that one.
Yeah, it's a very well respected course.
Yeah,
lots of good positive reviews for it. Yep.
The Giants came back and beat the Pirates. What the fuck?
Seriously?
Baseball crazy. Yep.
Fuck's sakes.
Welcome to bullpens. Bad bullpens. Yep, that's baseball.
Kyrie Irving hit his free throws. He should be at 30 now.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Okay.
Whew. You're right. He's the one that got
that girl.
Well, he needs to make one more. He's at 29 right now.
Oh, watch him rattle it. Watch him rattle it right off the fucking.
Yeah, but this is the big one. This is the one that can make it a 4-point game.
Right,
yep.
right. No, you got to get to this.
It's over.
We're praying for the girl on Twitter. There you go. There's your 30 points.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yep.
Wait,
108, 104. 7 seconds left. Just don't foul here if you're Minnesota.
I'm showing that Minnesota has 3 free throws.
Oh, they fouled. Yeah, they fouled him on a 3-point shot.
They're fucking lucky that didn't go in. Like that's a 4-point play and a chance to tie the game. If that goes in. Jason Kidd's just shaking his head. What? Like goodness gracious, guys, just get away from him.
Oh, his foot was on the line. If the foot's on the line, that means it's not a 3. Is that right?
Right. Yeah.
Correct. But they'll look at it.
Yeah. It looked like his foot was on the line.
Yeah, it could be 2 instead of 3. Which, look, there's only 1.8 seconds left. It's still terrible. It's a stupid, bonehead, brain-dead decision. Yeah. It is. I mean, it's inexcusable to have that happen. Yeah.
Great sign for the Stars when the Mavs win.
No, that's behind the line, I think. That's 3.
Watch his left foot. That's a bad angle.
Yeah.
You got to see the other angle from half
Remember,
court.
if you can't tell for sure, they're going to keep it a 3-point shot.
It's a 3.
Three free throws. Yeah.
I love how Goose is calling it from fucking Canada, and the ref is like, "No, that's a 3."
Yeah.
Goose is on an iPad in Canada, like that's a 2.
That's
No way, his foot's on the. Ooh, if you get the parallax angle, you can see some.
I think there's a little court there between the perimeter rim and his shoe.
Yeah. It's close though. Fuck, is that ever close?
Look, I don't want none of us want overtime. That's for sure.
No. Doesn't change my thinking. Oilers win tomorrow night.
I like Oilers first period all day.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny you say that. First period too. Yep. First period in full game Oilers. But
really,
doesn't mean I've soured on Dallas or given up on Dallas. No, this is pre-thought out from the beginning. Edmonton's going to win tomorrow. Dallas is going to win in 6. The series. Yep. And everyone's still happy at the end of the day.
I might just go Edmonton game 1 Dallas series.
That's what I was just thinking the same thing, Alex. Yeah. Me and Perlo had talked about that one too as well.
You can look at it 2 ways. Peter DeBoer's 0-5 with Dallas in game 1. You can look at it the other way. They're due to finally win a game 1. I prefer the former. Thank you. Yeah.
Matt, you ready?
Yeah. Well, there we go. Let's go.
You missed it.
Always, baby.
Yep. Cheers, boys. Cheers. Awesome night. Yep. Salute.
What do we got here? Oh, we're into pumpkin time.
I don't know if Hintz doesn't play the whole series. I think the Oilers have it.
There you go. He banked it. He threw up a brick. That's game.
Yeah, Conley missed the second of the 3 free throws there.
Yeah, that's game.
No, pardon me. Can you say that once more, Perlo?
If Hintz doesn't play the whole series, like I don't know how badly he's hurt. I know he was skating, but I mean he's got some sort of upper body injury that I'm not aware. Like the fact that he probably won't play game 1 means he's pretty banged up.
I don't think we're going to see Rope Hintz tomorrow night. Pretty damn confident that he's not going to play.
I think so.
So that means he's pretty banged up, and And really,
isn't Heiskanen out?
No,
as well?
No, Haskins.
No, he's good.
Heiskanen okay? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a final 108-105 Dallas. They take game
There we
one.
go.
Yep.
There we go.
Woo. There you go, boys.
We'll take,
Yep.
we'll take
Over
that.
full game. Good job. Plus 7.5 for Sammy.
Yep. Nice catch, Sammy.
You guys want to take another shot? Because I go grab the bottle real quick. But
Yeah,
I'll take
we'll do one more. Yeah, we'll do a goodbye.
All
Good
right, give me
night
a second.
shot.
Give me a
Yep.
second.
Yep.
Goodbye.
I'll sit here and cheer you on.
No,
I
we
gotta
only
go
got
to
one
work
games nowadays.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it is.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be on earlier tomorrow. I didn't.
Yeah. Plus, we got to
It was like
conserve
that,
some.
that Edmonton
tomorrow.
Vancouver game ended at what 1:30 last week,
Yep.
and I was just like,
Yep.
dazed.
The nights of long
Alex texted
Betcast
me.
are
Alex goes,
over.
You okay?
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm still sleeping.
This Betcast was a piece of cake tonight. I mean, 3 hours, and it felt like it was 2 minutes. Quite honestly, yep.
Hold on, I think there's a KBO game on. We could bet live.
Well, actually,
God.
now technically, Ian, you're wrong because when the series comes back to Edmonton, it'll be a 7:30 start my time, which will make it 9:30 yours.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So
if you want to keep
Only-
the party going, let's live bet this World Series preview here: Colorado and Oakland. Let's go 2-1.
Ian, did I tell you the bet I made today?
Yeah. What?
What'd you pull, Sam?
Wyatt
jab?
Johnson, Conn Smythe, 18-1.
Yep.
I endorse that.
I already got that
endorse
one.
Yep. I have 25 to
18.
1, but it's still a good price. That's actually one of the better prices available right now. 18.
I
Yeah,
wish
I
I
got
had
him at
25, but
Yeah.
18.
I got him
well,
at 18
Ottinger
as
was
well.
Ottinger was like 550
Yeah.
or something like that. And
Yeah.
Johnson
Sammy, I
was
said on the
18,
show
and I
earlier
thought
today,
that-
when Dallas won Game 3 against Vegas, this was Game 3, and they were still down 2-1 in that series at the time. I bet Ottinger and Wyatt Johnston to win the Conn Smythe, and they were both 25 plus 2,500 at that time. Whew.
And the thing I worry about with Johnston is that if him and Heiskanen keep the same pace of points, then the tiebreaker essentially is Ottinger. The same reason why I like 16-1 today with Bobrovsky. I wish I had bet that myself, but I got enough. I got enough Cup future invested in Florida. But
For sure. Yeah.
That's the thing. The goalie is the X factor. If you got two or more players that are log jammed and kind of trying to compete.
Yeah.
Edmonton's the only team where that doesn't factor in my opinion. And unless if Skinner has a shutout tomorrow, those odds are gonna shorten and tighten up too. So.
No
I'll
doubt.
give you Czech Republic tomorrow.
And say hi to the boys. Say hi, guys. How you doing? Hi, guys.
Look at there. Goose's little pup there. Yeah.
I'll give you a
Everyone
little
brought
bit
their
Czech-
pup on screen. Goose, Gamble earlier. Matt. Yeah.
He's got to make an appearance.
Yep.
Come on, bub. There we go. Nice and
Yep.
sunny out here today. Now it's quit raining, so that's good.
Yeah. Still some daylight because it's 9
Well, busy.
o'clock there, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right, we're waiting for Sammy for a good night and put a bow on the night shot. One last.
You guys think Landeskog's announcing his retirement tomorrow?
Yes,
seems
I should
like it.
point that out. It seems like it. It's either that or he's going to relinquish the captaincy because he's not around the team enough.
Yeah.
It's one or the other, which he could, because if he wants to attempt to come back, I still think deep down he wants to try. It could be that too, that he just says, you know what, let's have someone else have the C that's in the dressing room every day and playing, and it could be that as well. It's it's one of the two to me. It's either he's dropping the C or he's retiring. Yeah.
The C will automatically end up in McKinnon, right?
Oh, of course.
That's
McKinnon's
probably
going to be the guy. No, 100%. Like McKinnon's going to get it if Landeskog relinquishes it. Be nice, Matt. What's with that?
And that's what, eight or 9 mil a year? For Landeskog, isn't that 8 or 9 mil a
He's
year?
beat his team. You don't have to like shovel fucking dirt on his grave. Come on. Yeah.
Go ahead, start shoveling.
Take him while he's down. Way to go. I've seen what you're all about now. Yeah.
If it was a hockey play and he was in the corner, you'd hit him once as you got up. So what the fuck?
I just love the pettiness after the game-winning goal by Duchesne when Marchman kicks McKinnon's stick just like on his way to the celebration, just a little last second kick of the stick while
Salt in the
McKinnon's just sitting there knowing it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it felt good.
Yeah. Hey, Mason Marchment's got no skill
for McKinnon as a player. Nothing but respect, but because Dallas and them have had so many battles, and he's kind of a whiny bitch sometimes, and then he's the hero sometimes. Got to enjoy when he's just, slamming his stick, like after the early OT. I think that was game 2 or game 3.
Right. Yeah.
When he's slamming his stick after the goal goes in. I love it.
You enjoyed him being miserable. You can say it. You enjoyed him being miserable.
I love him being miserable.
He's had his days of. He's had so many days of being God. So I'm sure he's not that upset that Matt Robinson from Reno, Nevada, is happy he had a bad day. He'll show me his cup ring, his MVPs, his $50 million. Like, he's not worried about my thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. When you put it that way. Hey, look, like I said, you beat him, you knocked him out. You're allowed to revel in that.
I love that. I love.
He can be whiny at times, but he's still one hell of a friggin' player.
So what did
that guy plays his butt off? Yep.
There we go.
I like reading Kat's comments that he's on the Stars now. It's shocking. I didn't think I would ever see that 2 months ago.
Oh, he's already ripping the Oilers like crazy. McDavid is soft. The Oilers
I know.
are soft.
I love it.
Easy path. Like,
I love it.
Cheshire Cat's on your side, boys.
For
when
once.
he supports one team over another, the team he supports can do no wrong, and the team he's going against is like the biggest scum of the earth known to man. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. With him. Yeah.
They had.
You've got him in your corner for at least the next 7 games.
It's like having. It's like having Brad Marchand or Matthew Tkachuk on your team.
Yeah. Yeah. Embrace it, Robinsons. Cheshire Cat's in your corner.
Right, you got another fan, you got another friend on the bandwagon.
Yeah, just annihilating the Oilers verbally for in the chat for the next 7 games. Yeah, or upwards.
They had Saravalli on the radio in Calgary, and he's like, "I got to ask you guys a question." He says, "Now that Edmonton's Canada's team, the only Canadian team left," he says, "Will you cheer for them?" All 3 of them are like, "No."
Should be.
And I'm always torn on this one. So, all right. So, when your team is gone, do you then look at another team, or do you look at a player going through the playoffs?
Depends, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Right?
It depends. For me personally, if let's say the Hawks are in, Hawks get bounced, I'm more than likely looking at players. I'm certainly not looking at another team. I'm definitely not rooting for another team in my division.
No. Right? That's
there's certain things like if a Canadian team makes it to the final against Detroit, I'm rooting for the Canadian team. Fuck the Red Wings, always.
Yeah.
So those things.
I saw on.
Sorry, some people.
Likewise. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay.
I saw
Likewise.
on Twitter that a lot of.
I'm sure you didn't root for the Hawks in any of the 3 cups that they won.
Goose, a lot of Canucks fans are like Team Tanev just because they love the guy.
Well, no, they hate fucking Edmonton. Let's be honest.
I mean that too, but
Edmonton.
but also Tanev is on Dallas, so a lot of them like Tanev, but
they
hate the Oilers.
And I'll be honest with you, if Vancouver would have won and they were in the round, nobody would cheer for Vancouver. Like nobody. If it was Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, nobody.
Yeah.
No, right? Well, no, they just. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Most Vancouver fans are fucking assholes. Like they really are.
That's why I take no issue with anything that Alex just said. I mean,
did you see the little kid before the series against Edmonton? Fuck Zach Hyman, fuck Jack Campbell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like holy shit, wow.
Yeah. Right, like I'd love to see Tanev win a cup. Yeah. He if there's ever a hockey player that my old man would love, it would be Tanev. Right, yeah. Plays the game, balls out, throws his body in front of the puck, doesn't care, just plays the game. So, if he wins a cup, good for him. If Dallas wins the cup, it doesn't hurt me one way or the other. If Edmonton wins, I'd love to see a Canadian team win, even though I'm in Calgary, right? I'm a Leaf fan, but I cheer for Calgary. But when Toronto comes to town, fuck Calgary.
Of course.
But if Edmonton wins, I'd be like, okay, good. The cup's coming back to fucking Canada for a year. I don't have to listen to these. No offense, Alex, because I like you and the rest of you guys, but the jerk off Yankees who are like, "Hey, we won your cup again." Go fuck yourselves. Like, shit, Jesus Christ. So, but for me, it's I'm kind of the same as Alex. Right? I'm not a team per se,
right?
But I'm definitely, there's certain players I'd love to see Canada win. I would like to see McDavid win a cup. Like the best player in the world should at some point win a cup, in my opinion. But
or we can't call him the best player in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to get to that point eventually. You know what the equivalent? I was just about to. You're talking about Tanev. You know what the equivalent of him doing what he does on the ice, putting every body part in front of the puck to block it. I'm fully convinced that if in a real life situation, there's a dear friend of his that was going to get like clobbered by a bus coming in or a train.
Oh, he would throw himself in front of it.
Train, 100% save their life.
Oh yeah,
100%
he would.
He would.
Right?
100%. Yep. No doubt in my mind.
The story of him with Joel Hanley when Hanley got signed off waivers to Calgary right as Tanev got traded to Dallas. He had never met the guy, and he shoots him a text. So Hanley gets a random text from a number that says, "Hey, buddy, my house is available looking like for the rest of the season. You and your family are welcome to stay at my place." And literally, Hanley had never, spent time in Calgary outside of playing hockey. He had to move his kids. Like, what a good guy move to just think to do that. Not even to offer it up if somebody else said something, but to out of your way, oh, this guy just got pulled from Dallas. I've got this nice ass house in Calgary. Let's let his family stay. And what an easy transition for Joel Hanley.
Such a class act move.
Yeah.
Everybody I've talked to that knows Tanev, and whether it's personal or through hockey, and I've met probably 4 or 5 people that know him, they all say the same thing. He's the kind of guy, he would walk in, sit down, buy you a beer. He wouldn't tell you I'm a hockey player. He wouldn't he'd just, "Hey, I'm Chris. You want to shoot the shit?" He's that nice a guy.
Yeah.
So he's definitely, he's one of those guys that, if he gets a chance to hold the cup, and be like, there's a fucking player that deserves to win a cup. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So
well said.
Yeah, for what that's worth, I'd like to see that sort of guy, hoist the cup.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. There's guys you want to see win a cup, right? There is. Once it's not my team, it's okay, well, I'd like to see A,
Ray
B, or
Bork
C
back
win.
in the day with Colorado.
Yep.
I'm sure everybody in the world wanted to see that. If you want,
That was one of those ones where you wanted to see it, right? Ginlin was another one. I would have liked to have seen Iggy hold it.
I definitely wanted I wanted Calgary desperately to win in 04. So
yeah.
I get that.
So, all right. So there's players that we always say that, the best player to never win a cup or win a championship kind of deal. And there's more than a few of them. That's for fucking sure. So
maybe, and Connor McDavid's on that list as of right now.
All right. So Ian,
far,
what's the move? What's the move tomorrow, Ian? What are we doing early hockey?
For me, look, obviously the game 1 overs until tonight were really good. Tonight, obviously, about 3-0, not even close. I'm still going to stick to it. The first period full game over tomorrow, with some trepidation, but first games for Edmonton both went over. The LA series and the Vancouver series in the first 2 rounds. Dallas's first 2 game 1s against Vegas and Colorado both went over the total. So I'm going to stick to it. First period full game over, and I'm on Edmonton. First period full game split. I hate to do it because I still think Dallas is winning the series, but game 1s are not their thing. They're 0-5. They've been off a long time. Edmonton coming in off a nice little rhythm still. Only 2 days from game 7 win to tomorrow. I think it's Edmonton's game to win tomorrow. You
don't have a choice here. You really don't, right?
Well, you do. Dallas could eventually win a game 1.
I know, but we looked at it this way for Boston, Florida, right? We said Boston coming in off 7, Florida sat for 4 days, right? Where are we going to look? Well, you got to look Boston. You don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I like Alex's comment. Edmonton to win game 1. And Dallas to win the series.
That's more likely what I'm going to be betting.
Look, to lose a game 1 once or twice, it's okay, it'll happen. It can happen to any team. But when you've lost 5 consecutive game 1 in a playoff series under Peter DeBoer, it becomes a trend and it becomes a habit. And it's something that's instilled in you, and you just
and it doesn't mean they can't win series. Obviously, they've proven that. Doesn't mean they're going to win the series. Win a cup.
I'm fully confident. Dallas in 6. Edmonton wins game 1, Dallas in 6. I have said that from the moment Edmonton won game 7 against Vancouver, that's what's going to happen. Edmonton in game 1, Dallas wins the series, though, in 6.
Yep. Yep.
Well, to play advocate, and I already bet it. I'll tell you what, Edmonton to score first, Dallas to win the game.
Wow. An interesting approach.
I already bet that. I already bet Dallas to win the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Edmonton, they come in hot. I think they score the first goal, and I think they lose the game. I think they lose the series after that. So that's how I'm going to play it.
Well, that's exactly why I'm on first period and full game split. I'm not on just for a full game with Edmonton, because I think the first period's their greatest advantage tomorrow night. That they're coming off, they're in rhythm. They've played every other day, and Dallas has been off since last Friday. You know, in that first period, Dallas is going to be a little. It's going to be a little tough for them. And I know they jumped on Colorado, but again, they didn't have the layoff they have now. To deal with. So that's why I think it's there for the taking for Edmonton tomorrow night. But after that, I'm team Dallas. After tomorrow night, I'm team Dallas all the way. Pretty much.
Yeah. That's kind of how I look at it in a way too. But it's a rust thing. But there's not that much rust when you look at these.
It hurts me to say I like Edmonton so much in game 1 when I know Ryan's going to be there for that tomorrow night. Part of me does want to see him watch his team actually win the game.
They don't lose when I'm there, so.
All right, well.
Just bet against
them. That's where your confidence should lie then.
All right.
Because I already have all my bets in Dallas. So.
All right.
And one other thing I'll be looking at tomorrow night.
You've never been there for a game 1, though, under the Pete DeBoer era, so that's.
No, there you go. I'll be looking at Draisaitl to score first for Edmonton tomorrow night.
That streak isn't going to live.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that, Goose. Yeah, I think that streak.
Draisaitl or Hyman, you can't go wrong with either one of them.
No, I think it'll be Draisaitl. He's driving the bus these days.
I would lean Draisaitl. Yeah, Goose. Right. Yeah.
That'll be my number one look for an Edmonton.
That being said, let me play devil's advocate. If Dallas does find a way to say, you know what, let's win a fucking game 1, boys. It's time. Enough with this bullshit and basically giving a team, gifting them a game right at the beginning of the series. I'm not going to cry over it. I'll be mildly disappointed because I'm on Edmonton tomorrow night, but it's short-term pain for long-term gain, right?
Yep.
Right? Isn't that the old saying? Right. I have to go through some short-term pain and Edmonton doesn't win tomorrow night. I'll be one step closer to the big futures. At least
let me just say too, Ian, I am now in the last 2 betcasts, I am 2-0 in live NBA bets, and I'll be selling my third one.
That's right. That's right. Tomorrow night on the Patreon Betcast, we'll keep an eye on Knicks or not. I keep saying Knicks, they're out. Pacers and Celtics.
Pacers.
Yeah. Pacers and Celtics. I like Indiana. I'm not scared to take Indiana. I know people will say, Boston got away with one. They'll play better, and now they'll blow out Indiana. I don't think there at any point in that game last night did I see a team 9 points better or 10 points better than Indiana on any court.
I got Boston in 6.
Yeah,
I already got that.
I got a 15-1 ticket on Pacers. So
wow, look at you go.
They should have won last night. Let's be real. They should have. It was ridiculous. They lost that game.
That was an interesting game there.
Oh, and one other thing, and I know I've already put it in because I put it in this morning. I've got Jamie Benn to score the first goal for Dallas tomorrow night too, as well.
First
there you go.
Dallas goal.
You like that, Matt?
I have been to get a point in every game of the series plus 5,000. He always has a ball against Western Canada.
Nice.
Got 17-1, Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I got to think about.
One thing that intrigues me about us doing, and I think next year is going to finally be the year we do our first live Ice Guys meet and greet party get together type thing. We are going to do it next year, 100%. It's going to fit perfectly for me with where I'm at right now. It'll be time to pull the trigger on that. Wherever it is, we'll pick the location, we'll pick the date. Probably be closer to playoff time next year, like in springtime type of deal, 2025. It would be incredible if we get some of the people that don't show up on the Betcast joining us for this too. We get to see names and faces. Bailey comes to mind, and a few other people being able to join us here on the live in-person shindig that we're going to have next year, first ever for the Ice Guys. We're looking forward to that. We have a bunch of locations that we're going to think of for that.
So does this mean I got to start sucking cock at Homeland Security to get across the border again?
Hey, fucking
Damn it.
No, don't go that far. Stay home if you got to go to that fucking trouble. Yeah.
No word of a lie. For me to get across the border into the States,
Yeah.
900 bills US.
Yeah.
4 letters of reference, a letter from myself stating how I was such a bad person younger in my life.
And
that's consideration. That's not even that won't even get me across the border. That's consideration. They can still turn around and go, nope, fuck you.
You need Bob Probert's old lawyer, clearly.
I need something. I'm not. That's what I say. I'm buying good knee pads and some lube and going down to the Council General here in fucking Calgary.
There you go, buddy. There you go.
We have a few. I'll throw out a few locations energized that we're considering. We definitely have. We've already talked. 4 stand out from what I've talked about with Alex in the last few months. Vegas, Boston, Nashville, Florida. Yeah. Those are the 4 main spots we're thinking of.
I guess I better start polishing.
Not so much in order, but those are the 4 that are up there. Vegas goes without saying, but Nashville.
Boston logistically makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But Vegas.
Here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part about Nashville. That's where Bobby Ryan's living right now. And he said when he was on with us, let me know if you're coming down to Nashville on the golf course. Then he had this little thing that he did on social media. Now we're kind of rethinking that. Do we even reach out if we go to Nashville to Bobby Ryan now?
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Well, I've never been to Boston. I've never been to Nashville. I've been to Vegas. Nashville, I've heard all sorts of good things about Nashville.
And we have to have Boston on the list because Jimmy's out there. Jimmy Murphy, our dear friend. Yep. And we know he'd show us a heck of a time out there. Yeah. There's no doubt. And Kyle Bond's living there now, too.
Out there, yeah.
Those are all on the list.
What do you think, Perlo? Road trip?
Oh, he'll probably be in. I'm still wondering why you don't have enough backup of lube that you got to buy more. I really thought that
hey, the boys under the bridge on 4th get some business, don't you know?
Crazy stuff. So enjoy. We'll wrap it up in a few moments. Like I said, there's been a great Betcast. We know the Robinsons are off to Dallas tomorrow.
Yeah, enjoy, boys.
Enjoy it. I mean, it's a thrill of a lifetime. It's opportunities that don't come around every season. Obviously, go to watch your team play in a conference finals game. It doesn't happen every day. So enjoy it, Matt. Enjoy it, Ryan. Goose, we appreciate you joining us. Subhuman Gaucho as well, who's become a regular on the Betcast. Sammy P, who was great with us. Sammy, if you're around tomorrow night, the invite's still there as well. If you're around, you want to join us for a bit tomorrow on the Dallas-Edmonton Betcast. Perlo, same thing. Like I said, we're back tomorrow. Patreon exclusive for Oilers and Stars Game 1. Note the start time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. So we're looking forward to that. And like I said, it's for the Robinson boys, man. You're going to be in that town. I mean, Ryan's going to be in the building for Game 1. Matt's going to be in the building for Game 2. But you're going to be in that city, and you're going to get the vibe and the electricity of what it's going to be there with the city and all the Stars fans in the downtown core. So that's awesome stuff. We hope you have a great time with that. Alex, we'll throw it to you. Final thoughts here from you tonight before we wrap this up.
Yeah, it's an interesting start to this conference final, and certainly not the one we all kind of projected and hoped for. Didn't expect a defensive goaltending battle. Shout out to Gam Blue, who came on. He was one of the few on the under Gaucho.
He took some under 5 as well at like plus 190.
Wow.
Plus
yeah, I didn't take
so he took the alternative like under 5 plus 200.
Yeah.
What a
that's the mark of a veteran who's been doing it and doing it well for years. So shout out to him. But interesting game. Like I said, now we just kind of get to see what changes will be made from Game 1 to 2, and of course now waiting for the lid lifter with Dallas and Edmonton. Very excited for that tomorrow. So it's an interesting start with two very interesting series.
Yep.
No doubt. And like I said, we've gotten Matt and Ryan to the point where they're already halfway home as far as being in the right frame of mind for the flight tomorrow with some of the shots they've, especially Matt, poured down here tonight on the Betcast. You guys are ready to rock. Yeah. This is just the start. Yeah.
Hey, Gaucho, if I don't have you as a friend on X, add me, buddy, and we'll start chatting.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I see you're at there. Yeah, I'll reach out to you. Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good. You guys, you won't see me tomorrow night, but I'll be there in spirit. As always, I'm into pumpkin time, so the old boy's got to go.
We'll get the old boy on Patreon one of these days, too.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
We'll get there eventually.
Anyway,
I'm out, boys. Everybody be good. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one.
Cheers.
Good stuff, Goose. Yeah. Way to go, Goose. All right. Yeah, I always give him shit about not being on Patreon, but that's all right. He's got lots of, like he said, his wife's been out of the hospital.
There's Ryan. He's getting it sorted out.
Got a shot ready. I'm with it.
All right. One last shot, fellas, and then we'll finally pull the plug on this night that's been. Cheers to everyone. Great Betcast. Safe travels to the Robinsons tomorrow. Join us tomorrow for the Patreon Betcast. Another big night ahead. Cheers, everyone.
Yeah.
And cheers to the great sport of hockey that gives us the opportunity to do this show and Betcast like this.
Absolutely.
Throughout the course of the season. Absolutely incredible. Rich H is going to be on the Betcast tomorrow, so looking forward to checking in with Rich. Rich, you got to move on, right? You got to move on, right? Pick up the pieces, pick yourself up off the mat. That's a tough, always tough when your team season ends, but yep.
Especially this late when he gets down to the conference final or cup final, and that's when you're just like, fuck it. It's so easy to say fuck it.
No doubt. This has been awesome, folks. Everyone in the chat, we appreciate you. Hit the like button on the way out. Alex, Matt, Ryan, Sammy P, Subhuman Gaucho, Perlo, everyone that joined us earlier, including the great Gamblu. Just outstanding stuff. We appreciate you all tuning in. We're on at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow to tee up Game 1 at Edmonton, Dallas, and we'll look back on tonight's game. And then 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific on Patreon. Another Ice Guys Live Betcast for Game 1, Western Conference Final, Edmonton, Dallas. I'm Ian Cameron. Hope everyone has a good rest of the night. We'll see you again, of course, tomorrow on Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern for another edition of the Ice Guys and the best Betcast at night, Patreon exclusive. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.